Every time I come in the kitchen, you in the kitchen. In the goddamn refrigerator.
I sure am hungry.
Yo. Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Dinner Podcast. It's your boy, Keem and Chuck.
What up? I'm Chuck.
There you go. That's his intro. We are two Las Vegas-based creatives, entrepreneurs, and hustlers, and we have a podcast out here where we interview and talk to and have conversations with other entrepreneurs, creatives, and hustlers. And today we have DJ Crykit in the house.
Yay!
Now, Crykit, I'm actually really excited to talk to you on the podcast because I think we had just met at your event, right?
We did, yeah.
That was the first time I had ever met you. I want to know a lot more about you because you are not you have it right here. You're a DJ, you do dance, you're an overall artist, you're involved in culture, and you do a lot of fashion with Crykit's Playhouse. How did all? Well, first of all, let me just tell the people out there who are listening what you do and who you are.
All right. Hey, listeners out there. My name's Crykit, and I mainly DJ, but I also go thrifting and digging and resell vintage clothing. I throw a monthly party here in Vegas called Crykit's Playhouse. And I used to break a lot. I don't really break anymore, but I still love to dance. So
when you say break, you mean like break dance?
Break dance.
Yeah. How long you break dance?
Beat boy, beat girl. I started breaking in 2000 and kind of stopped when I moved out here, 2011.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. So when did you move out to Vegas?
2011.
Okay, that's when you moved out to Vegas.
That's when I moved out to Vegas.
Wow, so a whole 7 years now. Right?
I know. It flew by.
Yeah.
I feel a part of the city now.
Wait, so what got you involved into the arts period?
I feel like I'm so grateful. I do everything I loved doing as a kid. As a kid, I was obsessed with my boombox, like staying up on the radio and pressing record and on any song I liked and making my own mixtapes. I love dancing. I used to dance in my room. I made up dances for school. Like if there's some kind of performance, I wanted to do the dance choreo.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, I've always loved clothes. You know, I just think it's such a fun way for self-expression. And I love materials. Like it's funny. I'll come into your house and I want to see. I didn't get to see your guys' closet actually.
Oh, you don't want to see my closet? It's just plain T-shirts and basketball shorts.
Mine's just Hawaiian shirts and patterns.
Oh, you do have the fun shirts though.
Yeah.
Chuck's got fun shirts.
You know what? I actually got a button up with pineapples on it because of Chuck.
Oh,
he's
fun.
kind of influenced my style in that way. Yeah,
it's fun.
So I have a job where I actually have to wear like a button-up shirt and everything, but it's got pineapples on it.
Yes,
Nobody says
I
anything.
do like that shirt.
Yeah,
I'm like, ooh,
it's
that's a
tight.
nice
I
shirt.
want to get more like it, man, but they're hard to come by,
They are.
especially in XXX.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Aw.
triple
Yeah.
X.
Okay, so you had sent me your bio, and I was kind of like blown away when I first read it because I had no idea. I was like, you have opened up and performed with so many big artists out there.
I have, yeah.
How did that how does that feel?
It feels amazing. It does. It just goes by so fast. And then crazy looking back, it's been artists that I love so much. Disclosure is one of them that I hadn't been listening to albums for a really long time because music comes out so fast. And for DJing as a full-time gig, I'm constantly looking and listening I'm just flipping through music for all these different gigs because I play so many different kinds of gigs. So I need loungy stuff, I need club stuff, I need underground things, I need pop music, and Disclosure was just an amazing, I just love their house music and was one of the albums I hadn't been listening to them in a while and was bumping them, and the next day got a call for a corporate gig. They're like, well, you're opening up for an act named Disclosure. And I was like, what? That's
Damn,
so
was that
tight.
at the link?
Yeah, that was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that weird, like they have like
what is little that? Events area?
Yeah.
Or something like
Random
that?
ass events area.
Link?
At the link, yeah.
I didn't even know that.
I had no idea that was there.
Yeah.
It was really nice. I think that was an HP party.
Okay.
So they had really cool lighting.
Hewlett Packard.
Hewlett Packard.
There you go. Big names, big things. What was your what were some of your best experiences in performing? Like who were your favorite acts to perform with or to DJ with?
Well, opening up for Bruno Mars was the most epic.
Yeah.
I love him. I love his band. They're so fun and funky and feel good. I love music that makes you feel good.
His last album was crazy.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Oh man, I can listen to that album back to back.
Especially for being mainstream, I love that. I respect that when
Totally.
you're actually bringing that type of funk and whatnot to the mainstream again. And
Yeah.
he killed it. Like I hear him on the radio too much.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
overall,
you could
like-
definitely hear his influences, but I feel like, man, he just does them so well that when I listen to it, I can tell, oh, that's a very like James Brown's song.
Right.
But it's also, I can tell that's his song. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't
Right.
sound completely like him.
I just think the newer generation needs that type of music. You know, we need to make sure we keep that type of music in like, what is it? In the same line as all this other poppy music.
Yeah. Or you're kind of saying like introducing the new generation to like a little bit of old school music.
Exactly.
Right.
That way when they hear like, oh, that's a cool song, and then somebody says, oh yeah, that sounds just like what's his name?
You're gonna say James Brown?
James
again?
Brown. There you go. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying using that song
Yeah,
as reference,
like,
but like, and then somebody goes
anybody, like,
back,
fit the
somebody who's
mention
15
or-
years old goes, oh, who's James Brown? And then they start looking at the past.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and Bruno's one of those artists that I do a lot of corporate parties, and you're playing for 20-something-year-olds up to like 60-year-olds. So
Yeah.
he's just one of those crossover artists that can reach a broad age range. And yeah, you can mix it in like classics. You get Earth, Wind, and Fire in there, Marvin Gaye, and Bruno just fits right on in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a very universal sound. That's one of the things I
Yeah.
like about him too. But let's go talk about you a little bit real quick.
All right.
What? So you do dance, you do fashion, dance, DJing. What was the first thing that you started doing?
That's rough to say. I guess DJing,
Mm-hmm.
I would say. Yeah. I didn't really take dance classes as a kid. I had an art program at school, general art. We didn't have the extras like until I moved to California my senior year of high school. We had a sewing class, we had a ceramics class, a photography class. So I really got deeper into the arts. But yeah, dancing was just kind of something it mimicked from TV. I used to watch the Fly Girls on In Living Color, and Janet Jackson was killing it then, of like Rhythm Nation, and those videos would come on, and I would just try and MC Hammer. Oh my God, I had hammer pants as a little kid.
Yes.
Like, I just watched the TV, and I had minimal channels. I grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
So
You grew up on a farm?
I did.
Whoa.
Wait, where
On a
at?
farm in
Cali?
Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm originally from Wisconsin.
Damn.
What?
Yeah, third generation farmers. My dad's still there.
Whoa.
What a contrast from Wisconsin to Las Vegas.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm here. I never thought I would be here in Vegas.
Do you prefer the Vegas scene versus the farming scene?
It's got its pros and cons.
Yeah.
You know, now I really appreciate, now that I'm older and I'm all around these people and energies, I love the downtime there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have 300 acres of
Jesus.
farmland, crops, and
300
then
acres?
pastures. Yeah, close. I think
Yo.
it's like,
That's bigger than Disneyland.
That's bigger than Vegas. 308, bro. Let me just say this: I had no idea how big an acre was. Like, how much land
Yeah.
1 acre was. It's huge.
it's a
You know,
lot.
you talk about 300 acres. You're talking about a couple like miles. Like,
That's why I want to still buy that land in Ely, Nevada. It's like
Oh.
it's like 300,000 for 520 acres. I was like, dog, that's like
yeah.
it's like 5 Disneylands.
I mean, you're just
Yeah.
buying. You're just buying the land though. There's nothing on
Yeah.
it.
Well, all it takes is one government to be like, hey, I want to build my highway through here, and then be like, oh, that's my land.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know?
Do you ever see yourself going back to the farm life?
I don't think so. I would like to be closer to my family. I've been gone for so long from everybody. I moved away in the year 2000. So, my older sister has a 2-year-old now.
Oh.
And, it's like those kinds of things that you start to really miss. But no, I need people. I need nightlife.
Yeah.
That really drives me. And yeah, it's not really there.
Is there a scene in Wisconsin like that?
I mean, Milwaukee, yeah, we're like 35 minutes from Milwaukee,
Oh,
an
okay.
hour from Chicago. And
Okay.
so I started going to raves when I was 16,
Out there?
like out there,
Uh-huh.
yeah. And I've been to a few barn raves, which is hilarious.
Barn
There's,
raves.
there's barn raves, yeah. You just had to
What
throw
was-
a party
hold
wherever
on,
you could,
hold on.
really.
What was that experience like?
Not many people.
A lot of animals.
She's like, not a lot of people. You kind of knew everybody there.
I knew everybody was a little awkward. but it was something. It was something for us to do.
Yeah.
Because there really is nothing to do. And now I appreciate, as I'm older, doing nothing. Like, okay, yeah, I'll definitely love to do some nothing right now.
Yeah.
And just be out in nature. But yeah, as a 16-year-old, you're like, get me out of here. Once I had a license, it was out to Milwaukee and Chicago. And yeah, I guess that's kind of how, like, the rave scene is how I got into DJing. Daft Punk had come out with their album Homework. Chemical Brothers, like, I think the album was Exit Planet Dust, and it was like this new electronic music sound. So I went to see their show in Chicago, and then I just got bombarded with flyers after, when you're leaving. And I'm like, ooh, what is this? Cool flyers. The artwork was really cool then. So I just started going, and that's when you had the party hotline. You had to call a number to go meet up with somebody that would have the map then to get you, and get your ticket there. And there was like 3 checkpoints. Like and it's all from one party number. You call the hotline.
Wow.
So you ran on a treasure hunt to find the venue. And you didn't know it could get shut down.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have permits for that.
But you knew it would happen that day. Like the event was that day.
You knew it was happening that day. Yeah. And you would have a flyer that had the DJs on it. And a lot of times, if they could, they'd have at least 2 rooms. So you'd have like drum and bass. I love jungle drum and bass. That was my room. Yeah. And then you'd have like house and like happy hardcore breaks, things like that.
Shout out to Happy Hardcore though.
That was the room. I was like, get me out of here. I cannot.
You guys are gonna have to explain that one to me.
Boing, boing, boing.
Have you ever played DDR, Dance Dance Revolution?
No, I've watched people play it.
Do you remember that music?
On
Do you
YouTube.
remember the music? Like hearing the music?
Yeah.
A lot of that music is like, Happy Hardcore is actually really fast.
It's really fast,
like,
and you really hear just this constant like dun 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 and high pitched vocals.
Yeah.
like literally that BPM she just did is exactly how fast it's going.
Oh damn, it's pretty fast.
Yeah, it's like 10 Red Bulls fast.
Yeah, I feel like some of the people I can't say everyone's on drugs. I used to go every weekend and not do drugs, you know. But
a good amount.
But I've done it before, but I just would go out all the time without. But in the Happy Hardcore room, you would see people looking like they're chewing their face off, like eyes like ready to pop out of their face.
It's called
like,
Happy Hardcore?
Happy Hardcore.
Okay, they say Happy Parkour.
Oh, that's awesome. Like people jumping all over.
Yeah, that's what I envision in my head. I've seen those videos on YouTube, man, where these guys, these white kids, man, they're under a bridge or something, and they have the hardcore music, and they're like doom 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 doom, like doing all those crazy dance moves.
What's that called? Industrial?
No
something?
idea, bro.
They call it something now.
It cracks me up every time when they switch the music and they put like Mexican music, bro, or they put like some kids television TV show theme song or something. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
Wait, so it's 2011. You moved to Las Vegas. What was your ultimate goal with moving to Las Vegas? Like, what drove you to move out here in the first place?
My friend Tracy P was working for a boutique management group called DMI, and they needed female DJs. Their main account was Tao and Lava Group. So Tao Lounge, Lava Lounge, they have lounges, they have their clubs. So yeah, before that, like my timeline is kind of all over the place because I started getting records in 2000, which was jungle and drum and bass. That's what I started as a DJ. And then once I started breaking, I found breaking through the rave scene. Like in California, I was weird. Chicago and Milwaukee, I don't remember B-boys. I never saw B-boys. I didn't really know it was besides the movie like Breakin' and Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo type things.
Was that more of like maybe a New York thing then? Because the hip hop
could have been. That's where I heard it came from.
Day, like it was just more east and west.
Yeah, like I think there was a lot more breaking on the East Coast, or West Coast was more popping and locking the funk styles.
I'm sorry, just wondering, where did breakdancing come from?
Where it came from? New York, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. I
don't want to lie on the podcast, but I think it's Brooklyn, right? Brooklyn.
No,
Bronx. There you go. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
I knew it was a B.
Yeah, they're all B's.
Yeah.
B's.
Yeah.
But don't let a New York person know that. They'll get super salty.
I don't know what the beef is. Oh.
Territorial, bro.
Oh, is it?
No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. All right, go on, Crykit.
Yeah, I don't know. So I kind of like once you start breaking, you can't just practice once a week. You have to practice a lot because those moves are hard and it's just repetitive, like, learning how to hold your body up and building the strength and learning the vocabulary. I spent a lot of time, like 5 days a week, training that and kind of put DJing on the back burner. I had a steady weekly, drum and bass weekly I would do as far as DJing, but other than that, then the sound, after a couple of years, the sound kind of started changing within jungle and drum and bass, and I felt it was kind of moving in a harder direction, and I didn't love it as much as I had the last 4 years. So I met a group of girls. We called ourselves Sisters of the Underground. It was an all-female hip-hop collective out of the Bay. So we had all-female breakers. There was, funk styles, lockers, poppers, DJs, MCs, graph artists.
Damn, that's so tight.
Yeah, and there were so many. There were so many girls. Like, the hip-hop culture there when I moved to the Bay in, like, 2000 was so fun. It was definitely a melting pot, and a lot of really talented people. Like, I would go session over at Cubert's house. Like, I randomly met him.
Wow,
and
that's crazy.
It'd be cool because he'd have, like, we'd be having a cipher off on the side, and he had all the
Can you
scratch
just
pickles,
explain
like,
who
scratching.
Cubert is real quick for people who
He's
don't know?
a turntablist, like one of the most well-known scratch DJs.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like, I'm not big into the whole scratch like DJ thing. I don't know about the culture, but the history. But I think I've heard of Cubert before.
Yeah,
so that's got to tell you
He's
something.
up there for sure.
That's got to tell you something. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the most well-known ones. So everybody was just so cool there. Like, I loved the vibe of the Bay. It was definitely really easygoing, fun, and just people who loved it. They loved the music, the dance, any aspect of it, really. It was more a community vibe, I felt like. And there was a lot of things to do. We'd go out, if like 5 days a week, you could go out to you go to a club or a bar and hear the best music. There would always be ciphers. I lived for the ciphers, and I find that it's not really here in Vegas.
Like the hip hop ciphers where people just rap.
No, well, for me, it would be dancing.
Just the culture.
Okay,
the culture
I didn't know because when I hear cypher, I think of Eminem on.
Yeah, I feel you.
I wish we had more of those. That'd be tight.
No, we have like battle rap out here, right? Is that still a thing? AHAT? They used to do a lot of battle rap, right?
I don't even know.
Yeah, bro.
But I remember
huge events. I watch the videos on YouTube. There'd be like at least 100, 200 people at the like in a parking lot, and they'd do a rap or something. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but I didn't know it how do you say it converted over to dance as well. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So I'm really grateful though. I've got, some dancers that come through the Playhouse and we get some ciphers going. But I just lived for the ciphers. So yeah, DJing was on the back burner. I was solely focused on breaking. Had this female hip hop collective I was a part of. We were performing, we were battling, we were traveling, we were teaching. We started a nonprofit hip hop education program for kids. We taught at over like 200 some schools. Damn. And we even performed with E40 at San Quentin prison. Dang. Like crazy stuff like that. Yeah. So I was just kind of fully submerged in that. But I did learn a lot about music through breaking that I wasn't DJing before. Like, I missed the whole 90s era of hip hop as a kid. Like, that kind of wasn't my thing. I was more into the alternative scene and grunge and Nirvana, stuff like that.
Shout out Seattle.
Yeah, shout out Seattle. So now I'm learning about Eric B. and Rakim and Gangstar and, classics. I did love Tribe Called Quest. I've loved Tribe since the 90s. But other than that, I started buying more records that I could break to. And then funk and soul, I would buy, James Brown records and such. So now I kind of had this collection of music, was doing rocking parties that I could kind of play all of that. But main focus was on dance. So fast forward to, I'm still living in San Francisco. Fast forward to 2010, I feel like, I want to take dancing to another level. I felt like I was really progressing as a B-girl, and I just loved it. I just loved it so much, and I wanted to see how I would do in the commercial scene. So I decided to move to LA. I auditioned for like 6 different gigs, and just 6 in, I was like, this is not for me at all. Once they'll call, like the casting call is like, hey, we need breakers. And you're like, all right, awesome. You show up and you're in a room with 200 other dancers that are choreo, and they're trying to learn the choreography from one person in the front of the room. And when that's not your style, like it's a whole nother way of like me watching you and just picking it up right there. Like that's just a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
It's
do you think that's like a whole nother, do you think is that a whole nother part of the brain that when, you know what I mean, like kind of like
that you have to train?
Yeah,
you do. I have the worst memory in the world, so already
Same
I'm
here.
like fudge. But when that's your thing and you grow up as a dancer in the studio, that's all you know. But for me, I'm like, but you know, like if I could freestyle, I'm gonna kill it. Like now I'm just in touch with the music and I just feel it and do whatever comes to me. That's where I would kill it. But to get to that point to showcase your freestyle, you had to do the choreography first. So I was just sucking hard at that, and then they would give us like 2 8 counts as like your personal time. You know, that's like goes by in a snap. So what can you really showcase as a B-girl in 2 8 counts? Not much. Meanwhile, you're there with like 6 other girls whipping their hair and like jumping into the splits and like kicking their leg up and, you know, like all these other moves. I'm like, I thought this was I thought you're casting for B-girls. So
now when you say 2 8 counts, you're talking about like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2. Like you literally had
that's it.
10 15 seconds. And that's it.
That's it.
Damn,
Dang,
that ain't
man.
anything.
Yeah, man. That's the thing. Because I used to play bass.
Awesome.
And I love like reading sheet music and having time to practice it and really like nailing it down.
Right.
But when it came to sight reading, oh my God.
What's sight reading?
Sight reading is when you basically go into a room, nobody else but judges, and then you're in front of your bass, and then they put a sheet of music in front of you, but it's blank until you flip the page over, and then you literally have one take to start playing the song perfectly in the same the right tempo, the right key, the right notes.
Damn.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
So it's not like freestyling because everything's written, but it depends on how good you are at reading ahead. You know, it's kind of like reading ahead basically, but with notes and having to coordinate that with your fingers.
Damn, that's super rough.
Yeah.
I actually did pretty good in one of them, bro, but like that's a passion I never pursued afterwards. Yeah, but I get that where you're talking about like the right side versus the left side kind of brain, where you're like you're more freestyle versus having to take what somebody's choreographed and having to learn it in like 10 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, and like trying to even just see what they're doing is half the battle. And so it wasn't my thing. And I was getting really frustrated because at that time I moved to LA, but I also decided like I don't want a side job. I don't want something secondary. I really want to live off of what I'm passionate about. Because I had done, not that I'm not passionate about retail, but yeah, I did retail for 10 years up until their Kid Robot, when it was one of their first stores, which was awesome. And then I did.
Wait, what's Kid Robot? You're gonna brush me up on that.
Kid Robot is it's like vinyl toys. So vinyl toys are limited edition collector pieces, basically. And well, there's kind of like all these little categories because they'll have like Kubricks and Bear Bricks that are from Japan, and they're basically it's all the same shape, but the art on it is going to be different. And a lot of times they come blind assorted. So they come in this box. You don't know which one you're going to get. And they'll be like, oh, okay, there's 10 different ones you could get. And then within that, there's a extra limited edition one that one out of like every 4 cases could be it.
It's definitely a Japanese thing because that's what
like
they do with all their
Hatchimals.
toys.
So it's definitely like you get hype on collecting and but then they also were doing these kind of like only 50 pieces were made. And that's when they will do the bigger ones. And they would do really cool. They would work with really amazing like street artists mostly and you know, comic book artists, all kinds of different artists, and make these limited run figures of something that they've drawn. So it's like having pieces of art, and there's major collectors in that. And I got to be working, that was their first store. I worked with the first owner and saw the revolution, or like the introduction of their thing called a dunny, which is like their blank kind of one shape figure that other artists can paint, and then they make them in the blind assorted boxes, so you don't know which one you're going to get, and yada yada. So it became it's like a big craze,
right? But you were working in that as a retail.
Yeah, I worked out as a retail. I also worked at Buffalo Exchange and Stussy. So I kind of worked all, and that was all on Haight Street. Have you been there?
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I kind of like, I worked everywhere, and it was fun because it's like, it's definitely its own community when you work the block. And I used to skate a lot then, and I had dreads. So I was just like this fucking
you had dreads?
Skater chick that worked like 3 different stores on Haight.
I want to get dreads.
Yeah.
It's so convenient. It's awesome.
Yeah, you know what? I just like, because I've been growing my hair for the last year.
Okay.
And I just like, I like it, but it's like, it's also like inconvenient, man. Because like, if you don't have a hair tie, it's all over the place. And if you're driving and you like the window down and you don't have a hair tie,
that's so annoying.
yeah, you can't do it.
When you have dreads, you can like tie them together.
Yeah.
And you don't even need anything
That's what
else.
I'm saying. Like, I just like the comfortability of like not having to worry about like flyaway hairs. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No flyaways.
Yeah, get it, go away.
Keep your shit dirty, bro, and it'll just start sticking together.
Oh, I've been shaving the sides, bro, but the top, I'm just letting that grow out.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is yet.
Me either.
I don't think anybody's ever done this before.
Nice. Adventure time.
Yeah, adventure time.
What comes out of it?
Do you watch cartoons?
I don't. I used to. Not anymore.
What was your favorite cartoon?
I used to love Ren and Stimpy. Yeah, I would say.
So you've never seen Rick and Morty?
I've seen a few episodes, and I do like it.
Okay.
Oh my God, have you guys seen Mr. Pickles?
Yeah.
Mr. Pickles is which Mr. Pickles? Is that a TV show?
It's a cartoon. It's so out there. It's really gory and bloody, and it's this dog that's a killer dog.
Yeah.
Like he's a Satanist dog, and
geez.
it's all the scores. It's all metal music. So it's this
That's
crazy
Adult Swim,
like
right?
yeah.
Adult Swim with the weirdest.
Have you heard of Big Mouth on Netflix?
No.
No. I've seen. Is that with the horse?
No, that's BoJack. That's BoJack.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So, anyways, there's a show called Big Mouth, and it's Nick Kroll. He's a comedian. Apparently, I haven't seen it yet, but from what everyone said, it's a really good show. But it's an adult show.
Okay.
Like, do not let your kids watch that show because there's a lot of crassness. Big Mouth, yeah.
Right.
And from what I heard, like it's really good. Like Rick and Morty level good. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to check it out.
Bro, like some of the new cartoons I've been watching, I just watch here and there because the nieces have it on.
Oh,
like what is it, Gumball and all that?
Something Dino. Something in Dino. It's on Netflix.
That one good?
My nieces watch that show.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really good.
I don't know. Gumball is just I love how they do. Is it Gumball? Like,
I don't know.
It like has like 3D animation, but they mix it with the 2D, and I just think it's super unique.
That's awesome.
I love cartoons. I don't
Cupcake and Dino. That's the one I'm talking about.
I don't know.
You guys haven't watched
Dino.
Cupcake and
That might
Dino?
be too
No.
young. When did you stop watching cartoons? Like you never watched
A long
SpongeBob
time
or
ago.
anything?
No. Oh yeah, I like SpongeBob.
Oh, okay. The OG ones.
I didn't have a TV or a computer. I didn't have things for a really long time.
Oh, shit.
I'm like prehistoric.
No.
I don't know.
You're farm.
Is that the?
You're
I'm a farm
farmer?
girl.
Yeah.
I'm really behind on technology. I'm not that tech savvy. Oddly enough, like with DJing with my laptop, it's like gazillions of. I'm always coming into these like tech problems, but yeah, I find there's controllers, and then it's not talking to this mixer, and I'm like, wait, you were just working at my house, and
Yeah,
so confused.
Yep.
But that's
happening
I
here.
feel like technology has been one of my biggest roadblocks when it comes to producing music. Like I've always wanted to produce music because I love like just messing around with sounds. But just the fact that I'm like, I don't know the technicality behind them. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll do photography.
Yeah.
Give it up real quick.
Wait, so what year are we in right now?
What year are we in? We're 2010. I moved to LA. Hated the music videos.
Yeah.
Wasn't working for me. I had just my B-girlfriend Faye. She had been living in LA. She had started learning to use Serato for DJing. So I had a laptop. I'm like, oh, I want to give this a try. Like maybe this is something, because up until then I was using vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. So I got on Serato and just realized how much more music you can have and the access to just everything.
And you don't have to bring a box around.
Don't have to bring the crates of records. Yeah, and I did not have a car in San Francisco. You just take the bus everywhere. So it was like crazy carrying like my...
That little metal box.
Yeah.
Now,
that thing is heavy.
Educate somebody like me who doesn't know anything about DJing. Serato is a digital turntable that you can store music on digitally.
It's a program you use with your laptop, and you connect it to, you have control CDs or control records that is just a time code.
Okay.
So it reads it from your...
I still don't get it. You know, it's crazy. Like,
Yeah,
I have them, you know, and I'm like, how do these work? Like,
wait, so when you turn the digital disc or whatever, it does it on the computer and it emulates the sound?
Because it looks it looks
like
exactly it looks like a regular fucking vinyl, you know, but it has like this special time code on it where I don't know how it works. Like Serato knows how to read it, so it knows it's a Serato vinyl, because they also have Tractor vinyls, and then they have what's the other one, Pioneer vinyls now, or I'm lying?
No, I think I mainly there's also there's that one, like, what is that one? I forget. Not many people use it, but
I know what you're talking about.
Serato and Tractor are the main ones.
Yeah. Well, how do you guys feel about the fact that, and I know we're gonna keep getting derailed, but like you guys talking about vinyl makes me think, like, what do you think? Do you think vinyl's gonna stick around longer? Or because the thing is, I even hear like a lot of like Best Buys and Targets, like they're getting rid of CDs. They're getting rid of DVDs, right? Do you think that's a medium that's gonna stick around, or is it gonna be like
be around forever?
Do you think it's gonna be more of a hobbyist thing though?
But and it has been. Like people, there's just the hardcore collectors and people that really need to have it on the record. They need to have it pressed on vinyl, but
because like if you look at it, like cassettes and 8-tracks and all that, when they went off the shelves, they were never produced anymore. They're done, you know. But vinyls have been off the shelves in normal big stores, but they're still selling, and they still sell a lot, bro. Like I think they just did something, like they said vinyl, I don't want to fuck it up. But vinyl did better than like downloads.
Oh yeah, bro. You know what's funny?
Vinyl sold more because you stream music now.
Right.
But they said vinyl's doing better. I was like, what?
It's literally Spotify, iTunes, and vinyl. Like that's the only way people buy or listen to music nowadays. I actually heard this artist, man. It was a big artist. I forgot who it was. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he was like, "Yeah, I was with my team, and we just put out a new album." And this is a big artist. I forgot who it was though, but he was saying we had a conversation. We were debating if we were gonna put out a CD for it. Like if we won't just make it all digital. Like that was a conversation they had. So I'm like, okay, the end times are coming.
That's crazy,
for
bro.
CD at least.
Yeah, for sure. I just think the one thing with vinyl too, and that's why I love DJ House, is
shout out DJ House.
He literally when he releases anything on his label, he doesn't release it digitally. He only releases it on vinyl. And I think that's super dope because that keeps it. Yeah, somebody's gonna put it on the internet.
Right.
But I think that exclusiveness makes those vinyls even more valuable. And that's something I'd do if I ever started a record label. I'd only want to do vinyl only, like super exclusive music. Not to hold music back, because it's gonna get shared no matter what, because that's the internet and people like giving away music for free. So I don't care, and there's record pools and all that stuff. But I think for sure, vinyl will stay till the end of time.
Yeah, but until then, we're using Seratos.
I hate you, bro.
We're using Serato.
Serato. Shout out Seratos.
Shout out Serato.
Yeah,
it's just Serato.
Serato sounds like a fucking hot sauce.
It does. Serato.
Sriracha. It's actually pronounced Sriracha.
Oh, really?
Sriracha, yeah. I saw that.
You're gonna look like a complete goof if it's not.
It's Sriracha.
I believe it.
I have a documentary on it.
Are you sure it's just not a guy who doesn't speak English and that's how they say it?
This guy Griffin Hammond did a whole documentary on it. It was like an hour long. He did on his own self budget, and he put out like a limited release of Blu-rays. There was like 100 of them he did. I got one copy in my room. And I watched.
You think Blu-rays will disappear?
Damn, that's a deep question, bro.
Because wait, does DVD still have behind the scenes?
I think so. But I don't think the thing is the difference between a DVD and a Blu-ray is that Blu-rays can hold
way more
capacity. Like, and also the file sizes are smaller, and also the fact that the quality is higher resolution. I mean, they got 4K Blu-rays now, bro. You know that, right?
So DVDs are gone, but Blu-rays
DVDs,
might stay.
DVDs are turning into like DV tape. Like how I used to get the VHS tapes. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Just I don't know if I heard recently. It was like literally within the last 2 or 3 years, one of the last VHS factories that produce VHS tapes is out of business. Like the last one, it's out. Nobody produces VHS tapes anymore. It was either VHS tapes or it was audio tape. One of those.
I think.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But back on topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't bought a VHS in a really long time.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I used to like the boxes they came in.
Yeah.
The
me
plastic
too.
ones, bro.
I liked
that's fun.
I just hated when you had to rewind it. You had the little rewind thing.
Be kind. Rewind. Oh yeah.
I used to have that race
Oh
car.
damn! I completely forgot about that movie. That's
Okay.
crazy.
Oh, is that a
Sorry.
movie?
Yeah, the race car. Yeah, be kind of real. It's like with Mos Def and was it Jack Black?
I don't know. I never saw that.
Wasn't in the movie, Chuck?
Huh?
Wasn't
Wait,
in
it
the
does
movie?
sound familiar. Now.
What is it? Be kind, rewind.
Yeah.
Yo, you guys keep
Be
talking.
Cool?
Wait, maybe I have seen
You
that.
talking about Be Cool?
No, be kind, rewind. It's like with. I think it's
Did
like.
Michelle Gondry do something with that? No, does Michelle Gondry only do music videos?
Who's that?
He directed a lot of music videos. And didn't he also? He was part of the Chappelle movie too. He worked on Chappelle's movie.
Oh, I'm showing Be Kind Rewind. It's Jack Black, Mos Def, and some other people. I
Danny
kind of
Glover, Sigourney Weaver. Oh wow.
Ooh, Alien.
Ooh, Alien.
It's crazy though.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that movie, and no disrespect to the movie, because anything with Jack Black,
Jack
And even
Black's a
Mos Def.
legend.
I love them.
Yay! I met Mos Def once, and it was so awkward. It was so awkward. I'm
What?
awkward.
Okay, we
I
gotta
turn
hear
into
this.
like Have you seen Wayne's World?
Yeah.
I reference 90s a lot. Sorry.
No, you're good. That's good. That's a good place
Wayne's
to do it.
World. So Garth, like that's just me. That's totally me. When I see people that get all nervous about, and I can't talk, and I get all like, ugh, so super awkward. And it was a small cafe in downtown San Francisco. You would go to once in a while, and yeah, I just went by myself for whatever reason. Came out and like, oh, that's Mos Def just chilling right there, hanging out on the sidewalk. And he looks at me and he smiles and he's like, oh, I like your tattoos. And I was like, thanks. Nice rhymes. And then I was like, in my head, I'm like, that nice rhymes,
Yeah,
ew. And
I've
I
done
was
that
like,
too.
and I bye now. And like ran off. That's so embarrassing. That's all I could get out.
That's gonna be
That's
a new
great.
tattoo. Nice rhymes.
Nice rhymes.
Hey, bro. Nice rhymes.
Nice rhymes. I know. What? This
Hey,
is
bro.
So bad.
I know you. Nice rhymes, man.
Nice rhymes, man. Oh, God.
we gotta make that a T-shirt, bro.
Yeah.
Ew, so embarrassing.
I got kind of red just now hearing that. I was
Yeah,
like, ooh, that's
it just-
embarrassing. Like,
Ooh, yeah, it's the cringe. It makes you,
You know what?
cringe.
You know what's
like,
crazy? I feel like I'm kind of awkward a little bit, but I've never had that experience where like you meet somebody and you say something like randomly. Like I'm the kind of person that if I don't know what to say, I just stay quiet or I'll smile, huh? Just go
Yeah,
away.
I would rather do that than
Yeah.
say. I forget what I said when I met Chromeo too, and I was like, "What? Why did that come out of my mouth?
Yeah.
What am I saying? Oh my God!"
yeah, I said some stupid shit before. I forgot to who, but I was like, hey, so how long you been doing this? And I'm like, the fuck? Like, why am I asking him this shit? Like, what the fuck? Like, I know how long he's been doing it. He's like one of my favorite artists, but I can't.
Talk to somebody big at a big
I think it
venue.
was Breakbot. It might have been
Oh,
Breakbot.
Oh
That's
my
awesome.
god, bro.
Yeah, but I've seen him twice.
That's probably why he didn't come
Nice.
to Vegas.
He's like, oh, I know
He's
that
like,
fool.
That awkward guy.
Oh, my fucking weirdo.
Hey, bro. So you get paid for this? Just like, hey, bro. How much they pay you for this?
Oh wow.
I don't know how to break the ice, bro. I'm
Yeah.
terrible at small talk.
Sorry. So you're in Vegas.
Yeah.
You're working at Buffalo Exchange. You're working at all these places.
I was San Francisco, then I went to LA. Music or dancing is not working out for me. Dancing ain't working out. Like, what did I say? Ain't. Dancing was not working out for me. Got into using Serato for DJing, so now I have all this different kind of music I could play. Did a couple gigs there, and then my friend Tracy P from Sisters of the Underground, she had already moved to Vegas. We actually shared our U-Haul. When we both moved from San Francisco. I moved to LA, then she continued the U-Haul to Vegas.
Oh, tight.
So she had come out here like 10 months before me. And so 10 months into me being in LA, she called me to say, hey, I can get you DJ gigs out here. Why don't you start working and meet my boss? So I'm like, okay, the drive is 4 hours. I had my interview. He liked me, so I got booked. My first gig was at Lavo. They had like a special brunch that
Oh,
they wanted.
damn. You got the gig fast.
Yeah, it was, but it was like a happy hour type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So real chill, and they just wanted eclectic music. I'm like, all right, I
What's
can do that.
eclectic music?
A little of everything.
Okay.
But I think at that time I was really into new disco and kind of like
Yeah.
indie dance music, and
Was that like cut copy times?
Yeah. I love cut copy. Treasure Fingers was putting out some cool stuff.
That was like the Bloghouse age.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Was Breakbot part of that? Yeah, I think Breakbot, Metronomy, Izzy P had bangers all day. But yeah.
So that was the sound I was going for, I guess, in my own way. So that's what I got to play there. And that was something steady for me. Then I found out how much the cost of living was here, and I was like, "What? You can get your own apartment for $600? Like, I want to do
crazy,
that."
huh?
Yeah. And it was nice fixtures, like everything in San Francisco was so run down, ratty, and you're paying
$600 for a room.
$600 for a room, which could be the size of a closet.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I actually, looking back, most places I lived in, let's say if it was a 2-bedroom, we would make the living room someone's room. So it'd be like, there was no universal space. It was more like, hey, that's the living room, someone's bedroom, and we'd have 3 people staying in the 2-bedroom. And then you're paying $600 to $700 each for the space, as opposed to Now it's crazy. I think it's like $1,800 for a studio, if that.
Yeah, I think San Francisco is like the most expensive place to live right now, like over New York. That's fucking crazy.
No, I made it over New York now. Dang,
that's crazy.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I can't do it. I just can't. So
shut up, Keem.
Yeah, I moved here. I moved here in 2011. Which is funny because when I did move here, they canceled the happy hour. The Strip is bad, you guys. I don't know if you've had the experiences, but they treat you like a nothing. You're a nothing. You're just a number, and there's just zero respect in a lot of places. A lot, like I showed up to work. No one called me to say, hey, we're not doing the happy hour anymore. No one said anything. I just showed up, and it's like, well, not doing it. Bye.
Damn.
Yeah, and I've had that happen a few different times at different properties.
Yeah.
I've also, had some rough times with them as far as not paying me and then saying it's an accounting oversight, and how about we'll book you on some corporate gigs that pay twice the amount per hour, so then it'll even out. I was like, what?
Really? They did that to you?
Yeah.
I would imagine working for like more of a corporate kind of thing like that, you would be feeling a little bit more secured as opposed to somebody like, oh yeah, I'm going to pay you out of my pocket or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would imagine they'd be more secure and you don't have to worry about things like that.
Yeah, no. Damn. And the agency wasn't really looking out for me because that was their main account. So, hey, if they ruffle the feathers, because I want them to go after them. Like, hey, that's like 4 gigs that I didn't get paid for.
Damn. Yeah.
And accounting oversight, what does that mean? You do the same gig. That same gig happens every day of the week, for all this time. So things like that was happening. And I know you guys have talked about Insert Coins. So Insert Coins had opened up, and I loved it there. That became my home and kind of my voice, I felt like, as far as a DJ in Vegas.
Yeah.
We'd cipher their dance, we'd be getting down. We, like you had video games, you had everything. It was a place you could have anybody come to, and different days of the week was different programming. So Tuesdays we got to play real cool, like synthy, funky, like more underground electronic music. And then weekends it would be more top 40 type stuff. But I got to really learn how to play a club type setting. Like that was the vibe in there. It was always packed. And so yeah, I learned a lot about DJing and playing for mainstream crowds through Tao Group and Insert Coins.
Yeah, I never got the pleasure of going to Insert Coins.
Me either.
I never. I've never been inside.
I was too young.
It's called Red now, right?
Yeah, it's called Red now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What was that? You little smirk over there. What was that?
Like it?
No.
Yeah.
It's not my vibes. I guess it's for a different type of crowd. But that's how I feel all about downtown. I no hate against it because I work down there all the time. But it's not my scene.
Is there a scene for you here?
No. No, there is. I'm just lazy too now. I just don't like going out anymore. So I guess I'm a piece of shit. But overall, I really do feel like this city's going to grow a lot more. And like a lot of people don't understand, the reason we don't have culture is because our community is very small still.
It is,
It's very small, and everybody's kind of in their own shell right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, because people are like, oh, but look at LA and New York. But then I finally thought, I was like, oh, fuck, they have a huge population.
They do.
So they have a lot of people. And if you think statistically, you know, and you put their calculations down, we don't have that many people.
Yeah, it does make
We
sense.
don't.
And then you
Right.
see the demographic, and then you see everything else. Like a lot of those things, like people will get tired. And when I feel like in the next 5 to 7 years, like this city is going to grow like tremendously. I know everybody always says that every other 5 years, but I really think like this city is going to show something because there's people out there.
It's
like,
definitely growing a lot, the downtown. I kind of like personally hated it here as far as that because San Francisco and LA,
Oh,
like
yeah.
I said,
That's
you
a
could
different
go
monster.
out all the time, every night of the week to cool music. I was like, you know, I really thought, in my opinion, I'm bringing cool music here. And I kept getting, you know, like I said, I'll do all kinds of DJ gigs. Like I'm playing clubs, I'm playing in lounges, I'm playing a corporate gig, I'm playing, you know, these off nights that are more, you know, like back in the day when you guys had your night and the rabbit hole parties. But those are very few here. So I just felt like I kept getting told to dumb it down, play like
More
just
mainstream.
more mainstream. That seems to be a lot of Vegas is like, oh, we're trying this new thing and it's cool music and we got this cool thing going. And then when people start tapering off, all of a sudden it's like, okay, music, that's the problem here. We're not playing enough mainstream, so it just becomes.
Now, is that something that they would want to hear more mainstream? Because when they have people coming in, they want people to dance and know the lyrics of the songs.
Yeah.
So if you're saying there's no culture out here, you're talking about more the people who don't know the music you're playing.
they're not
Right.
open-minded to new things.
Yeah,
People
it
are
even
very-
took me a while too, bro.
Yeah.
Because when I went to a club, like I expected to hear like Flow Rider or something. You know what I mean? Like I would never like, oh, play some breakbot or something. I didn't understand that until I met you and you started putting me up on all that stuff. So I do feel the culture out here needs to grow a little bit more.
Yeah, there's like
but-
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good. You go first.
There's a place for everything. Like I get it on the strip, and you got people coming from everywhere. They want to sing along. They want to
Yeah.
get wasted. They want to have this big Vegas night. You know,
Yeah, it's a mixing pot.
it's a mixing pot,
Yeah.
Melting pot.
melting pot.
Melting. There it is.
But downtown, I thought there would be more. Like I love like Commonwealth. I love Commonwealth Beauty Bar, places that have like. There's room to dance, but it's not too big. So I feel like those are the kinds of venues you can take the risks of and do the underground nights, the off the cuff, the whatever. To me, like the music I really like. I want to go out and hear music I've never heard before.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's like that
this
gets
was
me
still
hyped.
this was still in like 2011.
Yeah,
10?
this is 2011, 12. So there wasn't many. Like Beauty Bar was doing some cool nights when I first moved out here, but
Yeah.
like I said, it's just not LA. It's not San Francisco. You're not getting that diversity and the crowd, like the community. There would be people that would support these nights.
Yeah.
Here, it's like it's taken Playhouse Party 2. This will be my 2-year anniversary next month, November. It's taken me a while to kind of build something. Yeah. So.
But would you say the community out here in 2018 versus 2011 is night and day, or is it kind of still
I
hit
feel
and
like
miss?
it's to me it's night and day. Yeah, I feel I've seen and met a lot of really cool artistic, creative people here that do go out, and they've all got their things going on. But I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like there's a lot more to do and see and enjoy downtown than there was when I first came out here. That's why Insert Coins was such a big deal. It kind of filled a gap that was missing.
Yeah.
And they had, like Bree, DJ 88, and Chris Laporte, the owner, brought in really great acts. Like they had hit live shows there, on top of really dope DJs, and brought a little of everything.
I feel like that's one of the things reason that I never went downtown was because parking. I
but
hated
you would
like
get jumped. Like the owner got jumped a couple times. Like
Jesus.
people, it was hectic right around Fremont Street.
Yeah.
Way more hood than it is now.
Yeah.
I think, or like
I mean, I feel fairly safe
sketchy
when I go down
characters.
there.
Now I feel a lot more safe.
Yeah.
But they used to have the security guards walk us to our cars at night.
Damn.
Even just to run the block.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
It's kind of how I felt when we had the studio downtown, bro.
Oh yeah,
I was like, oh, I hope there's nobody outside.
yeah. There was just homeless people pooping in front of our business.
Somebody did poop in front
That
of our
shit
building.
made me so mad. I was like, why is there poop? I know that ain't dog
At
poop
least you
either.
didn't step in it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was such a bad area. They built a fence around it.
We had 2 gates to get into our fucking business.
Dang.
Yeah.
They have 2 locks. Actually,
Yeah.
technically 3 because if you count our door.
Oh yeah, that's true. Triple security.
That's funny.
Wait, what ended up happening? What ended up happening to Intercoins? Did they just go out of business, or did
they went out of business.
Okay.
We'll keep it at that.
they just? All right.
Yeah, I invested a lot of my time and energy there. But to me, it felt like my home. But now my home is, I would say, Commonwealth. I love the team there. I love, shout out Mauricio and Ryan. Like they, and shout out Plo, because DJ Plo, he is the one that hooked me up with the offer to start Playhouse. It originally was on a Tuesday as a monthly. And then it got moved to Thursday. And the only thing was, like, I could do what I want. And, you know, let's say from 2011 to 2014, I was DJing a lot of just I had a lot of events where it's just music that, it's not what I like, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm just playing for these people because that's what I'm getting paid to do, you know, and all that's fun. I still love that, but not like, I'm not feeling very inspired or excited
not
about the
truly
music.
you.
It's not
It's
truly
more,
me
it's
at
more
all.
of a job.
And I kept battling myself because there's nothing more exciting than playing at one of those big clubs, and you get all those people and you get them to do stuff like put their hands up and have the best time of their lives, and you feel more rock star status, you know. But beyond that, it's the sound system. Like, I love big sound systems. So, you know, I got to do some clubs, but, you know, you have to, there's all these limitations, right? And what you're playing and how you're playing. So I had always, like I said, I'd always liked clothes, and I had originally wanted to be a fashion designer. When I moved to California, I thought I'd go to fashion school. Instead, I found DJing and dancing. But so thrifting had always been a big part, and I had this extra time. You know, like, I work at night, but during the day I'm looking for music. But I'm like, okay, I'm sitting on my butt a lot just looking for music. I need to be more active, so I just started making, going to Savers and Goodwill and buying vintage stuff. I love 80s and 90s things, and reselling them online. I started an Instagram account for it, Crykit's Playhouse.
Okay.
So that's what Crykit's Playhouse initially was.
And when'd you start that? I'm sorry.
I think
2 years ago?
2000. No,
No, it was like 3,
the
4?
party's 2 years old, but I
okay.
would have started the Instagram like 3.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was selling clothes through that. Then I started selling clothes on Depop, which is an app for
Okay.
reselling.
I was gonna ask you what you thought about apps like Depop.
I do like Depop, and I did really good when I've been kind of off this last year.
Yeah.
Since I started doing the party, it's weird because it's just once a month, but I put so much time in, and it takes a lot from everything from finding who's gonna, you know, who's on the lineup, and I don't want it to be just, hey, I'm going to hear DJs. I like transforming Commonwealth into a playhouse,
An experience.
Like an experience.
And real quick, why do you call it Playhouse?
I'm really inspired by Pee-wee's Playhouse. Was my favorite show growing up. That was like on Saturdays. I love the show. I just love the comedy, the humor, the creativity, the design. Like, the set design is so cool, the way they painted it, and just his personality is fun. It's quirky. It's different.
What's that
and,
movie called? Big Adventure?
Yeah, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
I've watched that movie like 50 times.
So
Wait, is that the
good.
one with that creepy scene?
He steals the bike. Remember?
Yeah, the big guy took his bike, Francis
Yeah.
stole his bike.
Yeah.
And so he's on this big adventure to go find his bike, and he thinks it's at the Alamo, and because it's like a fake psychic reader brought him to Texas, or
Yeah, that movie was weird growing up.
weird.
Bro, it was
It's totally
weird,
weird.
but it's so good.
You know what? It's funny. I haven't watched that movie since I was a kid. So I bet you if I watched it now, it's kind of like I just recently watched Billy Madison.
oh yeah,
And I'm like, this movie makes no sense.
yeah.
Like, why did she fall in love with him? Like, why did that happen? That makes there's dialogue in there that doesn't make any sense. But when you're watching it as a kid and then
It's
you
so
grow up,
epic.
yeah, you grow up and you have this, oh, dude, that's such a great movie.
Yeah.
And you watch it again, you don't feel the same. Do you feel like that movie still holds up?
I do. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah. I still love it. And Pee-wee's Playhouse originally was a theater show in LA.
Pee-wee's Playhouse?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And then it got made into a kids show. Yeah, I feel so bad. I was thinking about it and I was like, damn it. He was such a fun character for kids. Just a different sense of humor. And for adults too. I still think he's hilarious, and I'm a kidult. But
Kidult?
Kidult. I'm
like
a kidult. Still a kidult. But yeah, so what happened? Do you know what happened to him? Paul Rubens is Pee-wee.
Yeah.
He got caught.
Yeah,
it was like masturbating, but it's an adult theater.
My whole thing is
an
this,
adult
though.
movie theater.
You cannot. You have to separate the art from the person. Because art is a whole. Like Kanye West. You know, a lot of people like hate him, but you have to understand, like, the art wise, he's a genius. He really is. Though. But I don't know. I like, because Kanye, I grew up on a lot of his music. Like, he did get me into a lot of like sampling and everything. He's the one who made me want to make beats. Him and Jay Dilla, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, when I see him, like, how weird he is, I'm like, nah, I'm looking at the art side. You got to respect the art side.
Yeah.
You know, and the end of the day is, I hate saying it. Bill Cosby.
What was that one album that he did? All That Man Should Know That, Have That Power. What's that Power song? That was like the last thing I heard from him that I was like, oh, that's tight.
Was that a College Dropout, or was that after that?
That was after.
What's the one after that?
That was the last time. That was the last time that I was really into Kanye. Like, after that, the whole I Am God thing, I couldn't get into it, man. And then, I don't know, I feel like Kanye is one of those guys that just now goes for shock value. Like, he goes against the grain. If everybody likes something, he'll say the opposite just to get everybody talking about it.
See, I think
I don't like that.
I respected it because he was putting on cats like Cash. He put on Hudson Mohawk. I know they have beef now or something.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But he got
I didn't know
Hudson,
that. Yeah.
St. John Hawk, Cashmere Cat, Bradinsky. Like, he put on a lot of.
He put on Cashmere Cat?
Yeah, they did songs together.
Oh, I didn't
know. They like even St. John Hawk, and like a lot of cats don't know who that is, but like I look up to that dude. He was like one of the main cats, like growing up, like Cam Blaster and all of them. So I don't know. That's why I kind of respect Kanye, because I really do feel like he understands the music side of things. You know, yeah, he's fucking delusional and he's fucking weird, but that's his marketing. Kind of like Hobson. Hobson did the same thing. He did very shock value talk shit.
Right.
Technically, Eminem did the same thing too. Very shock value.
But I feel like that was part of his nature.
No,
from the very
it's a story.
Beginning.
It's a character.
But I'm saying, like, from the very beginning, Eminem was like, I'm gonna talk shit. You know what I mean? Like, even did it to his own mom. Kanye West had more morals and values, and then he started doing the trend, and I was like, that's not natural and organic to me.
Oh, like he just lost it.
Yeah,
he went delusional for sure.
And then he's talking about those videos that we keep watching where he's like, Walt Disney,
Steve Jobs,
Kanye West, and then the whole him now being. I mean, I understand people can evolve and do different things. Like, he wants to be a fashion designer now. That's cool, but it just doesn't feel natural to me.
I just feel bad for famous people. Like we were talking about the other day.
Yeah.
It's just, imagine anybody, you walk out of your house and there's gazillions of cameras and people and things in your face, and the paparazzi would drive me insane.
Yeah,
you know what's crazier?
down.
You know what's crazier than the paparazzi though? Being in the Kardashian family. Who was it? Joe Rogan made a joke about that. About how they make every guy go crazy. Like, literally anyone who gets with a Kardashian like goes crazy. You know?
Oh yeah.
Look what happened to Bruce. Like, you know.
Oh, that's wild.
Oh dang.
Took it there. There's a comedian.
Joe Rogan. That was Joe Rogan.
Yeah, he's a comedian. He did it in a funny way. It wasn't like a political thing.
Yeah. So calm down, anybody.
Yeah, calm down. But so wait, hold on. So let me just ask you this: for people out there who don't know what Crykit's Playhouse is, again, can you explain it one more time?
Yeah, because it's kind of a couple different things.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, it's definitely like when I heard about it, I didn't know what it was, and then I started looking at it, and I was like, okay, it's a combination of like music, and it's also like fashion,
culture.
Yeah, so
it started as vintage reselling, and now it's that, although that's on pause. I had a meeting today. I'm looking for someone to resell it for me. I have a stock room of clothes like ready to go.
Yeah.
I'll do markets. So I'll be at Ferguson's Market in the Alley this Sunday, which is a Sunday market that happens third Sundays, right next to 11th Street Records.
Yeah, I think I've heard of it.
Right?
By Bunkhouse.
Yeah, okay.
Right in there. So I love that market. It's cool. It's like different artists and just all local artists, whether they sell their ceramic pots or their macrame plant hanging things or, jewelry, what have you. It's a little of everything. So I pop up there and I sell my clothes there. But I'm looking for someone to resell online because I don't have the time. So I like going and finding the stuff. I'll keep digging, but yeah, someone else, if you want to resell for me, that'd be amazing.
What's the percentage?
I know.
Yeah, we could talk about that. Oh,
Yo,
sorry.
I know the perfect person.
Send him my way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Send him my way.
Because I just recently started like thrifting too.
Oh, yeah.
And I go into like Goodwill. I'm holding that stuff. Because the thing is like, I love the idea behind it of taking something and flipping it. But it's like also, I don't have the time to like literally ship these things and post them and do all that stuff. And
you have to
it's a
clean it.
job.
You take the photo of it.
Yeah.
You measure it. You post it up for sale.
And then just learning the whole shipping thing and all that stuff.
All
Like
that.
it looks like a cool gig to do, but like I just don't have time for it.
Right.
That's probably where you're at too.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah,
I had time back then, and now I just really want to focus in on DJing. I really do, because I feel I could progress and do bigger, better, not better, but different gigs. I really want to go on tour with an artist. I think I would love that.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Who would you want to go on tour with?
I don't know. I've been chatting with Nina Sky a lot. I don't know if you remember Nina Sky.
I heard Nina Sky, yeah. She's
been coming out with their twins.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they buy some of my vintage clothes, and I've been trying to have them come out for a Playhouse party. It's they're costly, so getting the budget for that. But I think girl artists, like I love female energy and female empowerment. Not that I'm around guys all day, every day. Like everything I do has been male dominated. So but besides that, back to Crykit's Playhouse. So it's vintage clothing, and it's a monthly party at Commonwealth every second Thursday. But you'll also find on my Instagram, select stylists pull from my collection and do fun photo shoots with it. So I got a lot of really dope editorial photography with the clothes. And so
it's super unique. Like when I saw it, I was like, nobody's doing anything like this, and I really like even like your logo, like the fun colors and all that stuff. I was like, that's tight.
Shout out Pretty Done. So Pretty Done is my homie Adam, he's also a DJ and producer. His art, that's what he goes by, Pretty Done, which I love the style. It's really fun and free, and he just freestyles it, So he made the logo, and I worked with him a lot. I still work with him a lot. We do like art installations with the backdrop, and he paints on suits, and you could put them on for photos, things like that. So Playhouse was given to me. The party platform was given to me to do what I want. So I wanted to combine clothing. Like, you don't see fashion shows. I do a fashion show. I don't do it every time, but the fashion shows, I don't see that out at a nightclub.
I like that. I really like that.
Venue, and it's so fun. Yeah. I love the way that just gives it a whole nother vibe and feel up there.
It's definitely an experience.
It's an experience, yeah. And shout out, like Crykit's Playhouse, the party, I curate it all, and I do most of the work, but it is a team of everybody. Like Chuck with his photography, takes like the coolest photos. Come back, please.
I'll be back one day.
Yeah, can you please be back? Shout out Gina Joy. She does the videography. She does the recap videos. And Rosemary was my original recap video gal. And so it's that. It's like the models all do it for free. Like I got like this team of people that do it to be part of the party platform and the community and the culture. And like those are my... thank goodness for all of them. And Moose, the coolest. Like, he's one of my resident DJs, and now JDHD and CC Elise. So, like it's growing. But yeah.
If you ever have a big and short section for clothes, hit me up.
Okay, I will. I look for everything, to be honest. Like, if it looks cool, I'm in the guys section first because it's so much smaller, right? But yeah. I'll buy anything, no matter what size it is, as long as it's, for me, I look for colors and patterns and,
that's
the material. Like, I found this and I was like, okay.
Yeah,
that jacket's so dope. Feels like butter,
You're just fresh, head to toe.
I love it.
She came in yesterday with the Keith Haring sweater.
Oh yeah, guys,
So-
I could have had the Keith Haring sweater on.
Damn.
That's okay. We're
They're both
rocking
dope.
Chromeo,
Yeah.
so
Shout out to Chromeo.
Yeah, shout out Chromeo. I love you guys. Yeah. So Crykit's Playhouse. Fashion, party platform.
I have to ask though.
Yes.
How did you come up with the name Crykit?
Crykit is a raver nickname of mine.
It's a raver nickname of yours.
Yeah. So came from the rave days, and I'm the one that chose how to spell it. A lot of people think it's Crykit. I would say a lot of people think it's Crykit, and it's really cute because I love when people got to tell me, like, they're all embarrassed, like, I
Is it
thought it was Crykit, but it's Crykit. But I get it because it looks like it, but it was always Crykit to me. So the spelling, I wanted to spell it differently, but I didn't think it was Crykit because it's Crykit.
Yeah.
So
It just looks good too, though. When you type it out, it just looks good. Like
yeah.
DJ Crykit.
I like the way it looks. Yeah. And I used to try and do graffiti. I love fonts and typography and hand styles so much. So yeah, I just felt like the way those letters are really, it was fun to write out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where Crykit came from.
Yeah. We have a morning dinner. That was random.
Oh yeah.
Shout
out to Keem.
I came from nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know how you came up with that. I was like,
It's kind of like this.
Yeah, it's so fun.
It's this podcast though. It's morning dinner. Like, have you ever heard like Nike, right? Nike, but it doesn't have anything to do with shoes,
what is Nike?
right?
does
I think
Nike
I don't think it's a real word,
It's
is it?
nothing.
It's
isn't
not.
it?
Yeah, but you associate it with
Just do it.
shoes or that brand, right? Like that's kind of what I wanted to go into it when I was making up when I was creating the name for this podcast was like morning dinner. It doesn't make any sense, but it just rolls out the tongue. You know what I mean? It's fun to say.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. And we'll say it live. Like, I really love your guys' Instagram. I love the aesthetic. I love the design. I love the
Thank
beat. Like,
That's all Chuck, by the
You
way.
guys have awesome guests. I know I've known like half of the people you brought on, and it's really fun to hear their stories. And
It's really fun to do this podcast because we get to meet people who have been out here and kind of get to know their story, but also it gives everybody a chance to kind of to tell their story, but also like just introduce everybody to the community out there. Like, you know, Vegas is small. It's always been said that Vegas is small. So like, why not really expose people out there who are doing cool things like you? Like, you know, like I want everybody in town to know about you and what you're doing because you're doing something really cool for the community.
But also just like not hitting just like the same basic interview boring, even though this is all an interview, but going off tangent and also just getting a little bit deeper than you normally would. So, because I think people respect that when they hear the hustle and the grind and whatever you want to call it, they respect it a little bit more, and they feel a little bit more, since we do the live camera viewing and all that, like they feel a little bit more connected with you.
Yeah, thanks for having the video. That's one thing I'm really lacking for me personally is video. You know, there is another form of connection there with people and connecting with your audience. And I don't know. I kind of like, I'm really social and bubbly and like whatever. When I go out, like that's me. I love people and doing whatever. But when I get home, I want to just, I'm in my own space and I'm really personal kind of like, I go introvert. So
I feel like that's it's a balance you have to have though, right? Like you can't be super level 10 all day, every day. You know, it's kind of how they say you got to have your highs and your lows. You have to balance it out. Like you can't be uppity all the time. Like you got to have their time to chill out. That way you can get back into it, you know? And
right.
You know, that's
I
the way
don't know how
am.
people just record themselves, like their stories all the time, like video recording, whatever
but then
they're
in
doing.
like
I
a year,
can't do it.
they quit. They're like, I'm burnt. This is too hard. I ruined all my relationships. Like, whoa, chill.
What do you mean? Like
when people vlog and stuff every day?
Oh, yeah.
My bad. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I see a lot of people like, it's hard. And like, that's why I respect, like, Just Kidding Films is my favorite. Because like when they do stuff, they don't over exaggerate. Like, what up, everybody? Like, you know, they're just like, oh, so today we're going to the park, but it's still, I don't know. I still watch it. I'm like, why the fuck am I watching
Have
this
you ever
shit?
heard of JK Films?
No,
No, they're
that sounds so familiar.
Just Kidding Films?
Just Kidding Films. They're based out of LA, I think.
Yeah.
And they do JK Films, which is like short films. They also do like news. It's not really like a news show, but like they do like 10, 15, 20 minute little episodes where they're just sitting around a table and they discuss current events or things that are happening. But they don't call it news. It's just their perspective on whatever's happening. They're not very like educated or factual about things. Like they'll just read the article and give their
And
opinions.
just say their 2
Nice.
cents, you
but
know?
yeah, but
that's
the thing
cool.
is, the connection between all of them is so genuine, and so like you could tell they're legitimate friends that like you feel you're part of the group too, and it's just so organic. It feels, you know.
Because they don't hold themselves back. Like they'll say dark humor stuff.
Oh yeah,
But it's not trying to be insensitive. It's just being, because they're comedians. So not saying bad humor is always a good thing, but I think we all
I love
just get a
dark
little,
humor.
you know, same here. We
Yeah.
all just get a little dirty. It's a little fun. Because like to me, what I feel like it is
A little dirty.
it breaks that barrier of like being stuck up. You know, I like fucking around. I like doing that shit. Because it's just like when you're stuck up all the time,
Yeah.
like I don't like being around those
No,
people.
I get closed down. Like I get really quiet around stuck up people
Yeah,
or
me too.
Really over the top people that it's like, you know, they need attention on them.
Yeah, like there's a boundary, like there's a limit. You have to
There
stay in between.
is,
you know?
yeah. Those kinds of people, I'm like, ooh, okay, I'm just quiet over here in the corner. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna do my thing. But yeah, you guys are real personable and funny. I laugh a lot when I'm watching you guys interview other people, and yeah, it's cute.
Oh, Keen's
we
blushing.
really
Buddies, it's a buddy.
Yeah.
we really tone it down for this show though, to be honest. Like if you knew, like if you knew our friendship like outside of this show, it's crazy.
Yeah, people like get scared.
We
'cause
gotta be
fuck
careful.
around too much. They're like, damn, are you guys really fighting? We're like, nah.
It's hard because like neither Chug and I have a background in like we don't vlog and we don't really like really get in front of the camera. You know, we're not like that. We're usually behind the scenes, so it's like
Right.
being careful of like, okay, make sure you don't say what you would say outside of the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like you guys are. Yeah, I'm kind of like dirty. I like
Yeah.
perverted humor. I
Yeah,
like
me too.
humor.
Yeah, once again, I know my place, but
Yeah.
it's funny to me. Everything's funny to me.
Like,
It's like that. My bad. What's that one guy for Adriana Grande's husband
Did you
or
say
boyfriend?
Adriana Grande.
What is it? Ariana. Ariana Grande. That's how you know I don't know
Wait,
shit.
who's she with? I don't
Ariana
even know. I
Grande.
don't
She's
keep up
she's
with
with
it.
Pete something. Pete.
Well, his dad
He's-
died in 9/11, and he always makes jokes
Oh, wow.
about it. But like, look at that laugh. That's fuck, bro.
Yeah, no,
Nah.
it's funny because if you watch like, have you ever heard of like Comedy Central roasts?
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
There was man, I think it was
Talking about smoking or
th-
something.
this British guy made a roast on Pete Davidson. That's his name,
Mm-hmm.
and he said he's like, come on guys, this is the roast of Pete Davidson or something. Not the roast of his dad that happened in 2011 or 2001.
Oh dang.
I was like, dang.
That shit was.
But he does it in his own stand up, like he makes fun of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's
To me, like it's weird,
Yeah.
and I don't know. If
it's a
people
new
see
way
it
of
as, like,
looking at it,
cop-out,
man. It's a
but
new way of looking at it.
I'd
because
rather laugh. I'd
Yeah.
rather laugh
I
at
love
life.
laughing.
You know, laugh in the face
Yeah.
of death, laugh in the face of like just bad shit.
Yeah.
Because it makes me feel like people don't understand. A good laugh can make you feel so fucking good after.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's some next level shit. Like I can't even explain it.
Yeah.
Like you feel so good. You're like, whoa.
We've had those sessions where I almost black out because I'm laughing so hard.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm laughing so hard that I forget to like take in oxygen.
That's
So,
like
like-
when I go on Fremont Street sometimes. Like Fremont Experience, you know, like the characters there are out of control, and just
Like the
even
street
just
performers.
no, not them. It's
Oh.
more some of them.
Just
no,
people.
it's just people.
Yeah.
I think Fremont Street Experience is all of America. It's like this
Yeah.
is America.
Yeah,
this
it
is
really is.
America right here.
It's America's
so lots
Playhouse.
of really
Yeah,
fun
the freak show.
Yeah, it's a
Like some things that be going on. I'm like,
Dude, did you guys see
This
that
ain't
video that was like going viral on Facebook? It was literally like in front of like Commonwealth area, like on Fremont. This dude's walking around
oh, butt naked.
butt naked,
dang.
like literally, and it was like maybe like 12 noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Like it wasn't at night.
Butt cheeks out.
Butt cheeks out and everything, like just crossing traffic was butt naked. I was like,
Wow.
damn.
That happened in San Francisco. Do you know what BART is? BART's like the underground train system there. So there's like a subway station type
Yeah.
thing. And this guy was tripping. He was on something kind of psychedelic. He took off his clothes. He was naked and like look like what's that Mowgli, like the Jungle Book, like just all like his hair was all crazy and he was muscular, right? Like he was like Tarzan. I think that's where I was going. But just like jumping butt ass naked up on top of like where you put your ticket in, and people were so scared. Ladies were like running away, and
Well, I
then
wouldn't
he
know what to
attacked.
do.
Like I wouldn't know what to do either.
It's like if you try to swing at him, his pee-pee might touch you. And I'm like,
imagine that.
Because he could have anything on it. Like,
That's why I always say, man, if somebody ever wants to like they mean mug you in the street, bro, they look like they're about to beat you up. Just take off all your clothes.
and just run after them.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do?
I guarantee you they'll stop.
They'll run.
Dead in their
They'll
tracks.
run. Yeah, that's
Yes.
funny.
So if anybody wants to get a taste of like what what can happen in Vegas, go watch that video. It was just crazy. It was like broad
Crazy.
daylight. There's people like driving and like this dude's in his car recording. I'm like, what the fuck?
Dang, that's when I wish that I never wish this unless it's this type of scenario. Like, wish you could, like, we had a little system already in us that we could just
Record stuff.
record it. Yeah, record.
I've
But
seen some weird
Well,
stuff.
they got spectacles now, Snapchat spectacles.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah,
So I need
what
a pair of
happened
those.
They're still happening. They're just slow. They're like
They're still happening.
I think Instagram took a big
Yeah. Snapchat.
jab. Snapchat, yeah, because Snapchat was like big.
The thing.
Like remember, it was like Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Yeah.
Like, Snapchat had overtaken Twitter completely. Like nobody even talked about Twitter for like 2-3 years, and then Instagram started copying all the features, borrowing all the features or whatever, and then you started seeing Twitter go up. Like Twitter, like I'm actually on Twitter now, and I've deleted Snapchat from my phone.
Oh, I was gonna ask you. I was never really on Snapchat. I kind of missed that whole thing. I don't like people knowing what I'm doing all the time.
Plus
Like,
the snap map. Have you ever heard of that? There's horror stories on YouTube. People talking about like because on Snapchat there's a snap map feature that they've enabled. Your account's automatically enabled. Everybody who follows you knows exactly where you're at.
Where that
Yeah.
snap was taken.
Like literally down to the street.
yeah, to your house.
So I would do a lot of Snapchats from my home. Yeah, Chuck knows the story. And somebody goes like, "Oh, I didn't know you lived out here." I was like, "Oh."
Oh no.
So from that moment, I deleted the app. I was like, I don't need this.
Oh no, I can't hang with. I've had some creepy stalkers. Working on Hate Street, there's just fucking creepers, man.
Yeah?
So yeah, I'm not about the creepy stalkers.
Do you have any crazy stories?
Yeah, I got a lot. I would say one that really is a crazy ass story. It's so crazy. Okay, I'll make it really quick.
Yeah.
I'm really into. I'm open to spiritual guidance and like psychic readings and energy readings, things like that, right?
Yeah.
This guy was right before I moved out of San Francisco. I was still working on a Hate Street, and this guy looked like a black angel. Like he's like older black guy, but had these gray like silver dreads that were shining in the sunlight, and was wearing all white, like his like white linen flowy thing, right? And he came up to me and looked at me, and I forget what he had said to me, but it was so like, that's exactly what I'm going through right now. How did he know?
Whoa.
And then he's like, well, he said a couple other things. And so because I'm open to it and I have experienced it, I thought, okay, this guy definitely is gifted. Like he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And this is during the day. So he says, hey, do you got some time? I would like to give you a free energy healing. Like we could just go there. There's a park called the Panhandle, and it's real like, it's big. It leads up to Golden Gate Park, but people ride their bikes, they play basketball, they jog. Like there's a lot of people there, and it's just 2 blocks away from Haight. So he's like, let's go over there where we could be off the busy street and do this. So I'm thinking, I would never go do something, but it's during the day.
Yeah, you don't
We're
think
out in
anything
the
of it.
public, like we're out in the open. There should be nothing wrong with this.
Yeah.
So we go there. Oh, this is so bad, you guys.
Oh, Jesus.
So he's like, okay, so I'm just gonna do like I feel you've got some blockage in your like 3rd chakra, like like I'm gonna do this technique. So he comes behind me, and what I think is weird is he pulls off like a branch from the tree. I can't remember if he grabbed it from the tree because it was dead or it was already on the ground. But it's like this big branch with these dried up leaves on it. So it's kind of like you shake it, it sounds like a little
Yeah.
So He stands behind me. He's like, from behind me. I hear this, and he's like, saying some kind of mantra or some kind of something, right? And then I felt him getting closer to me, but I couldn't move. He paralyzed me. I don't know what he did, but he paralyzed me. So I knew what was going on, but I couldn't react to anything. I couldn't move my body. So I felt him get really close to me, and then he's like almost done, but I feel him like thrusting behind me. So yeah.
In broad daylight.
With
a tree branch.
With the fucking tree branch. And I was like, this is not right. This isn't right. This is not right.
Yeah.
And so I think he like blew a load in his pants. Like it felt like he came. Yeah.
What?
Totally. And at that moment, this girl was jogging by and we locked eyes and my eyes were like, help me. Like I was trying to and then she kept going. And then she turned around and was like, wait, like, are you okay? And she came up and like, I don't know what she did. I felt like it broke the spell. Like, I don't know if it was him getting caught or what it was, like what all happened.
Yeah.
And at that moment I was like, whoa, okay. Like I felt free and I just bolted off, like took off running.
What
So the sad thing of this all is that in our conversation prior, so he's definitely gifted, but he's using it to, he's abusing his power. Because we were having such a great conversation and I felt comfortable with him. He made me feel so comfortable. I told him I was on my break from work at where I work. And so he showed up like 5 times throughout the, like, you know, months later, would come in and look for me at the store.
Oh, damn. Stalker status right there.
And I just, once I saw him, I like ran to the back. Yeah. Damn. Things like that. And when I used to work at Buffalo Exchange, people get really personal. Have you been to Buffalo Exchange?
Yeah, I went once with Rosemary.
Oh, that's right. I remember the story. Yeah. So people can buy or sell their stuff, right? And they give you 30% cash or 50% trade. Mm-hmm. I used to be a buyer there. And people would bring in like stuff that was clearly stolen or you just knew when, okay, I should not buy this thing. But people, even if not, people just take it so to the butt. Like, oh, they didn't buy my stuff. There's nothing wrong with this. Like, whatever. People, that happened to me twice where someone was so upset I didn't buy their things that they waited for me until we closed the shop and we locked the gate. And then I hear like come around the corner like, hey, you didn't buy my stuff earlier. And like, nothing personal. Yeah. And then just all in my face of how they need money and how, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Stuff like that would happen.
Damn, that's scary.
It's
I didn't
really
even know
scary.
it was like that.
Yeah.
I feel like it's so much like.
H Street, though, is a little crazy.
Hate Street is really crazy. And there's a lot of squatters there.
You say H Street?
Hate
Street?
Oh,
yeah, hate. It's spelled H-A-I-G-H-T.
So was that close to
like
Fairfax?
Hate Street.
Or
no, Hate Street, San Francisco. Fairfax is LA.
Oh, yeah.
Haight Street.
Haight.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And there was a lot of druggies trying to sell their stuff. Like, you could tell people were on heroin and they would just be in there waiting to be seen. Puffy fingers, like passing out and like falling over. And Buffalo Exchange is crazy to work for.
That's why I'm glad I'm a guy. I'm a dude. Like, I don't experience things like that, and I feel like guys have it way easier when it comes to that, because like I feel like females are also more like targeted, I guess.
And it's hard as a female. Like, this is all these years I've had to find my voice. Yeah. Like getting deep, I've like, if we're going deep, it's about now I feel like I'm empowered and I could stand up for myself and be like, no, like the no. But before, there's so many years when I wanted to say no, but I felt like I couldn't. I wanted to not like make any trouble or just go along with it. And, or, you get called a bitch just because you say no. And it's like, what? Why am I a bitch? Like, there's all these lines like that, that you saying no just automatically you're a bitch. But
it's like a subconscious thing that dictates how you behave.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like, guys would holler. I used to live in West Oakland, and like they're like, hey, mom, like, you just get hollered at everywhere. I'm walking, because I walked and took the bus and public transportation everywhere, but you just ignore, like, what am I supposed to just, hey, what's up? Like, how's it going? Like, no.
What's up, guys? Follow me on Instagram. You like what you see here? Follow me on Instagram.
Like what you see here? I'm like in sweats. Like, why are you hollering at me right now?
I feel like guys will forever holler at like Just
Yeah.
everybody.
It's just the thing.
Guys
like,
are
humans.
creepy, man.
80% of humans are normal.
Like, why you?
Fucking boring.
But you're always gonna get that 20%.
Yeah, there's 20% cool people.
There's always yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some of it. There's everyone everywhere, right? And so, yeah, I guess now I feel a little more confident expressing myself and having a clear boundary of not to cross.
Yeah.
No matter who you are, So, yeah. And Vegas has definitely taught that, especially being on the Strip and like a lot of those venues, like girls definitely get taken advantage of. And I see it all the time, like get them drunk and then,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was roofied once at Marquee.
Me too.
Oh, really?
Well, not at Marquee though.
Dang.
Brooklyn Bowl.
Damn.
Had a Chromeo concert.
What?
Yeah.
Who does that? So, what's odd is like, well, thank God no one whoever did it to me didn't follow me and take me home with them.
Yeah, I'm lucky I had Chug with me.
Yeah.
And you know what? It just didn't click to me. I was like, wait a minute, why are they buying me so many drinks?
The thing is, too, if you think about it, roofie isn't just for like taking you back to the room. It's also
it
like,
could
I'm
be
going to
like,
steal your shit, because you're going to
Which
pass out in the front.
most likely that was the case. Because,
You don't know, bro.
Yeah, man.
Be like, ooh.
I was puking everywhere. I was like,
yeah,
damn.
isn't that the worst? Like,
yeah. I fell asleep in my car.
Never felt that way before. Luckily, the owner of Insert Coins and DJ 88 happened to be at Marquee that night and saw me. She saw me standing over. I don't remember anything besides like a slightly standing over a garbage can, just throwing up.
Yeah.
And that night, my friend it was when LMFAO was really big and they did their party rock night there at Marquee. So that was her thing. She wanted me to wear these spandex, like cheetah print spandex, whatever the hell I was wearing. But I'm wearing spandex. She caught some guy behind me grabbing my ass while I was barfing in the garbage can.
So fucking bad. Sorry for laughing.
No,
That's so fucked.
but I'm like,
one of those
who
things.
It sounds
does
like
that?
fake.
It's one of those things where it's like, I don't think it felt funny when it was happening.
I don't know because I
No,
was
she
so
didn't remember.
like, yeah, I'm in this barfing.
But when you look back, it's like,
I think about that, like, who the fuck did that? Like, get
People are
out of here.
weird, dude.
People are weird. Like, what the
I
hell?
hate people so much. I love people, but I also hate so many people.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's like shit. Like, I hope the worst shit happened to you that night.
Yeah.
I felt like death the next day. Like I was shaking. I couldn't stop shaking and throwing up. I couldn't eat anything.
Yeah.
I had like crazy fever and just, that roofied is the worst. You feel like you're dead.
Yeah.
At least I did.
I hate the feeling of even like hungover from drinking. That's why I don't drink anymore.
Yeah,
I just cut
good
that
for
off,
you.
man.
I need to. I think maybe that's why I had a migraine the other day. It said alcohol could do that. When I'm DJing out, I get a lot of free drinks. Not everywhere, but mostly. So you just even like, I'm not getting wasted, but a drink or two this night, then that night. It's like 4 or 5 nights a week. I realize I've had like 2 drinks a night and.
Yeah.
I mean, a glass of wine is supposed to be all right for you every night or whatever.
Moderation is the key.
Moderation is the key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not Jack and Coke. I mean, like.
No, whiskey's been making me get dark now. Like,
Oh no! Yeah, whiskey does that. That's the type of liquor that it is. Like it literally brings out the anger and aggressiveness.
Do you guys believe that? Do you
Yeah, I
guys
do,
believe every
100%.
alcohol has a different thing?
100%.
Yeah, I do.
Every time I like when I used to drink Fireball whiskey, like that's what's called, right? Fireball whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right.
that cinnamon one.
Yeah, dude. First of all, I've gotten to the point where I drank almost the entire bottle. Not the big one, but like the one under it.
Ugh, and that's like thick.
Oh
right?
yeah. I
Sugar.
and it got to the point where like when
sugar.
I saw it, I just like after that day I was like, and literally have never had a craving for it ever again. I ruined the experience.
Oh, that scared the fuck out of me.
Bro, I got scared.
I jumped.
Sorry, but speaking of liquor, where is your favorite place to eat out here in Vegas while I go fix that background?
My favorite place to eat.
Yeah.
Oh, I love eating. I've got a few. I'm mostly vegetarian.
Are you really?
Uh-huh.
How long have you been vegetarian for?
18 years.
Oh, fuck.
Well, not vegetarian, pescatarian. I'll eat fish.
No, that's,
yeah.
that's good.
But I stopped eating red meat and chicken in 2000.
You still do cheese though, right?
I still do cheese.
Okay.
I don't drink milk. Like if I have cereal,
Yeah,
I like
of course.
almond milk or something. But I love cheese. I mean, I grew up on a farm and we just like, we're all about cheese curds
is
in
so
Wisconsin. Cheese is so good.
Food is so good. I
But
hate
you know
it.
what? I can't. You got to watch when you watch the documentaries and you see all the abuse to
I
the
can't do that.
animals and the pussy cows and That's
You know
when I'm
how,
like,
like-
shit, I'm eating that.
I talk shit about people being not open-minded and stuff. Like, a lot of that shit, I know it's out there, but I'm like,
Sorry, that was me, guys. I'm back.
yeah, that was Keem.
Snap,
He
crackle.
fixed the light. I don't know. Like, I can't watch that. I can't. It's
In the
fucked. Because, like,
eyes
when I see
of the
humans,
angel.
you know, get killed and stuff by accident on Facebook because people are assholes and they be reposting videos and they automatically play sometimes.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
Facebook's
God
getting
damn it.
better at that.
But,
though.
yeah, finally.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I can't watch an animal get killed because I think it's the fact that most of the time, the thing is, animals are, what is it? They're not conscious. So it's kind of fucked when
Yeah.
they're getting mutilated like that, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like, damn, he doesn't have, and that's why I it sucks because I want to go vegan one day, but fuck, I love meat.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well,
I feel like there's this big old push. Well, tell me what you think, because I could be just coming from my perspective. There's this big old push on people going vegetarian, vegan, and being animal friendly and seeing these documentaries and how they treat them and all that stuff. And it's kind of like made it unattractive to be a meat eater, to like, you know what I mean? Like in that sense. But also I come from the perspective of like, we're at the top of the food chain and it's natural to eat animals, just like animals eat animals. They're cannibalistic or whatever, and they say that humans are not supposed to be meat eaters because if you look at our teeth, we're supposed to be herbivores or whatever.
Right.
But I mean, I just feel like there's nothing wrong with eating animals, but the torture behind it, yeah, that's what I'm against. You know what I mean? Like, you know, but how do you support it? How do you support not being against that abuse, but also eat animals? And I feel like that's where I'm at dilemma wise. Like,
It's locally sourcing your food, knowing where it comes from. And I'll say this, coming from being a farmer, we had dairy cows and corn and beans.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, my dad was pushed out of the business because it's all about big farming.
Yeah.
And it's sad, but
Monsanto.
you know, like, yeah, and all that. My dad's crops, he has to rent out his farmland to other farmers to do it because there's so many years where the weather, you know, ruined all the crops, and it's the pesticide game. Like, the pesticides are so bad, and once they get you using it, you can't get out of it. There's no getting out of it.
what do you
And
mean
they
by the pesticide game?
Like, what you have to use they make you use the pesticides on these farms.
Yeah.
And then the pesticides, like anything else, the land it becomes immune to it, right? And then you got to ante up the dose or change up the pesticide, and so it's just so much money, and
Yeah.
it's a money pit. It really is. And there's like, once you use it, you can't stop using it, like I said. So yeah, my dad lost a lot of money. Could you imagine? Like, you're out. My dad worked so hard growing up. You see, like, as a farmer, they're waking up at 5 a.m. to milk the cows, and then you're spending all the time planting the seeds and doing all that. So, but you have bad weather, there went all your hours and days and months of just nonstop farming, and you have nothing. And
crazy.
you're even in the negative because you had to buy all of those pesticides.
And you had to buy it.
And you had to buy it. So yeah, the cows, he couldn't keep up with it. It's just like it's hard to, there's not that support for local farmers like that, but there needs
Yeah.
to be, because those are the people that are taking care of the animals. And yeah,
There's a what's it called? Farmers market out here in Vegas, right?
yeah, there's
You can
there's
actually
several.
go-
Uh-huh.
You can actually go and get like cage-free eggs and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely more expensive, but it's worth it. It's
Yeah.
worth it for everyone because you're supporting somebody else. You're supporting the farmer, and they know what they feed their animals. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've always came to that dilemma of like, you gotta raise that animal before you kill it. I don't want to get to know it.
No, and
You know
that's
what I
sad
mean?
too. I would like. Oh, I
It's
used
like,
to see the
if
cows.
if that was my pig or if that was my cow, I wouldn't want to kill it. That's mine. You know what I mean?
No.
So
Yeah, it's just just trying to eat more locally. I would say is a great
That's a good start.
step, because even they say when you're killing the animal, if it's violent, that their muscles are all tensed, and it's
Yeah,
you know, there's
yeah.
all those things.
yeah, that's one of the things we also talked about on this podcast is somebody had mentioned, I don't know if somebody mentioned it or if I heard it somewhere, but like essentially when you eat an animal, like if it was mistreated, all that gets ingrained into its like meat
Yeah,
and
like the
everything. And then when you
stress
eat it, and
and
when
all
you
that.
eat it, it affects your brain as well.
It
You know what I mean?
does.
So it's all like it has to do with like energies and literally like what are they called, bro? Hormones.
Yeah, everything.
Hormones. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's everything.
But
It is. That stuff's true.
I've had pig in Mexico, like for quinceañeras. It's very common out in Mexico. Like whenever you have like a party.
Pig roast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, literally, like they'll bring a big old.
Yeah, I had to
hog.
leave. I had
Yeah.
to leave.
Oh
when
yeah,
I
yeah, you were there.
I was like,
you
yo,
were
I
there.
gotta go because they were gonna kill
But
it
it
right
was,
there.
but it was quick.
Oh.
It was quick.
It's quick,
you
but
know?
like I'm like,
you don't want to. You don't.
I'll
wanna
still
see
eat
it.
it out there, but
Yeah.
I don't want to see it because then
Yeah.
in my ignorant brain, I'm like, oh,
But then-
didn't see it. Didn't
But then
happen.
it's like, dude, are you ignorant, Chuck? Because you refuse to look at the
That's what I
animal
just
in
said.
its last.
That's what I said.
That's what you said?
I was like, I'm gonna be ignorant and I'm gonna just be
okay.
like, oh no, I didn't see it get
Yeah.
killed, so I'm gonna still eat it because I still ate the pig.
Yeah.
It was yummy. I can't lie. Yeah. But I'm getting to that point where I just want to start doing it just because, yeah, food, it makes me feel like shit. Whenever I have hamburgers or anything and bacon, and this isn't trying to be like, oh, everybody go vegan. But it's true. Like, it makes you feel heavy. It makes you feel fucking, like, shitty. And a lot of vegan food, I can eat it, even if it's, like, bad vegan food, like, processed and all that. It still doesn't make me as, like, feel as heavy as, like, meat does.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And chicken still makes me feel heavy. Fish, no, not really. It's, like, probably the lightest out of all the meats.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like,
But now we're talking like all the mercury and like,
Yeah,
there's
of
just all the
course.
oil
There's always something.
spills,
How do you guys
like-
feel about Wendy's? Because they always preach about how like their meat's fresh or whatever.
I don't know. I was telling him I've been vegetarian or pescatarian for 18 years now.
Oh, pescatarian.
Yeah, so I'll eat.
So you
I'll
only-
eat seafood.
Okay, you like sushi?
what about, like, a fish
I
sandwich
do like
from Wendy's?
sushi.
Hey.
I haven't had that. Should I have it?
No, I was just wondering.
What was it?
Like any fish from
I'm not
like,
really a fast food girl. I'll do In and Out because they'll do grilled cheese animal style, and it's so good.
Grilled cheese animal style?
Yeah,
I didn't know they could do that. That's
They can
part of
do
their
that.
secret menu or something.
yeah.
Damn.
Now you know.
I found out about the protein burger when I was doing keto
Oh, okay.
and I was cutting carbs.
Yeah.
You still go to In-N-Out and get that burger double with just the lettuce outside instead of bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like lettuce wraps.
Wait,
Lettuce wraps
did you
are
end up telling
tasty.
Chuck what your favorite place to eat was? Because I didn't hear that part.
Did I?
no.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's how we started talking about vegetarian.
Yeah, because I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Because I like the veggie spots.
Veggie Nation.
I like Veggie Nation.
Yeah.
Cornish pasty has a really tasty.
I've never been yet.
Oh, it's so
I
good.
think I've heard of it. Somebody mentioned it to us.
They're
It's on
like
Charleston.
Hot Pockets,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah, they're so good. You should go. Yeah, I love that. What else do I really love? I love Asian food. Like I love Thai food. I could have Thai food like 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Japanese food, Vietnamese food. I love
Pho.
Wait,
I love
ramen.
is dim sum?
dim sum. I haven't found dim sum here that I like.
Okay.
Chinatown in San Francisco has some really great dim sum.
Yeah.
But here I'm having a hard time finding the vegetaririan ones, or it'll be
Ooh,
like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, because it does
it's
have
got
meat.
shrimp, but then there's like pork in
Yeah.
it.
Ping Ping Pong is good.
Where is
I
that?
think
Is that on
that's-
Spring Mountain?
Um,
What's that one that looks like a
I think
Chinese
that's in
like
Palace
a-
Station. So yeah, you're right.
Oh, okay.
So Sahara, but the calamari there is fucking good.
All I
might
hear
be
about
sure.
is
I love calamari though.
yeah, calamari is tasty. Oh my god, someone told me that it's a thing going on.
Oh,
that
God.
pig buttholes and intestines are
calamari?
They're selling it as calamari.
I would have doubted it. Fucking goddamn it.
I know.
You can't trust anything though.
You
Like it's
can't.
crazy.
What are you
Like,
talking about? Pig intestines?
yeah, like
Tripa.
have you had calamari?
It's called tripa in Spanish.
Or maybe it's buttholes. It's definitely like a part of the pig.
It's
like
something.
it's part of the
I eat
pig
it.
that.
I eat it.
Yeah, I've never been able to do that.
I was well.
Liver,
I
like,
grew up
ugh.
with like my mom is like she was also like a rancher in Mexico. It's like we ate everything. We ate every part of the pig.
Yeah, Keem's.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Keem's like when you eat chicken wings, I'm like, damn dog, how do you do that shit? Because like when I eat the chicken wing, like if there's any hard pieces or anything, I have to. That ruins my meal. I just see Keem.
Dude, I
like,
eat
damn.
I eat the
You
you know when you go to
beast.
sushi and you get the shrimp tempura or whatever.
Yeah.
How it has like the little tail.
You eat
I
the whole thing.
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
see, I
I eat
never
everything.
do that.
I eat everything. I'll let it go to waste.
Yeah, that's good though.
Great.
I respect
like
that.
I do respect that. Yeah.
And there's this place called Orchid's Garden. That's where I just started going there for dim sum.
Okay.
It's pretty good. They have this like bun. It's like a
With the bean.
no, it's not bean. It's like a bun,
Pork?
but it's got like a yellow. I have a video on my phone to show you later.
Okay.
There's like a yellow little like cream inside. I'm pretty sure it's vegetarian because there's no meat in it, but It's so good.
Ooh.
I literally like I over ordered and they let you take it home, so I brought it home the other day.
Because isn't the bun a little sweet?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I love that shit, dog.
Yeah.
I know.
I
I
think-
love breads. Aren't breads so
See, and that's how I
good?
feel about cheese too, because I heard so many bad things about milk, and it's like, God damn, it tastes.
God
so
damn
good.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just hate it.
Yeah, there's a few documentaries that link it to cancer. Dairy
But everything's
and
cancerous at this
everything, right?
point. Like, yeah.
Dude, have you guys seen that show Black Mirror?
Yeah.
Ugh. I mean, it's crazy because
What episode are you referring to?
I've seen them all. It's funny. I went on a binge this last week when I wasn't feeling good a few days.
You went on a binge of Black Mirror recently?
Yeah, because I've never seen it before.
Oh,
so
my
now they're all
God.
right here. And
Wait,
it's like,
have you watched all of it? All
I
4
did. I
seasons?
watched all 4.
I haven't watched
What-
all 4 seasons.
What's been your favorite episode?
Oh, shoots. I'm not sure, actually. That last one had a cool twist to it. The very last one where the guys got the Black Museum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was my favorite from that season.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the last
For sure.
season?
Yeah.
Oh, that one was really good.
Yeah.
And no
Or you know what was
spoiler.
funny? Like the little, the one before that, and it was like I missed the beginning of it, but then it had those mechanical dogs.
Yeah. You know we're
was
close to
like,
that, right?
"Oh!"
You know we're close to that. We're getting
Damn.
there. Like,
Yeah.
have you heard of Boston Dynamics? Boston Dynamics is this company. I would assume
In
they're
Boston.
in Boston, but they do robots. So they do like actual. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen those viral videos that go on YouTube and Facebook, but it's like this robot who can now walk and they can actually do obstacle courses. So
Can
like
do backflips.
you can do backflips. Jump off a table and land on his feet. There's like 3 boxes or 3 platforms at different heights, and it'll jump from one to the other and balance itself perfectly.
Because in the world of like robotics, like I remember
Yeah.
back in the day, Honda, I think it was Honda who made like the first walking guy, and it was super shitty and it kept falling.
Oh yeah.
Because it's very hard. But now these fucking things are like running up fucking like boxes and shit. Like that shit's scary.
That's scary.
Yeah,
That's scary.
it
And
really
also
is.
like all the technology, like, okay, we have it, it's all in us. And like with that one episode where they're just with the button, they're just going through all their
they were
memories.
setting their memories and stuff.
I'm gonna show you the dog one
Okay.
that Boston Dynamics has. Doesn't it look just like it? Like,
Dang, it does. That looks just like it.
Yeah, I think that's where they got it from.
wow.
yeah, so it's like and it's crazy because they actually have one of these that's trained to eat meat,
That's
like
so
flesh,
stupid.
like literally.
What?
Yeah.
Is it
yeah,
really?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, Google it.
Yo, or how
Google
about
it,
the
folks.
episode that had the military guys and they've got
Oh my
they see
God.
like real people as zombie type
Did they
of
see
didn't
him?
see
They
like,
see him
that
as
one.
like rats or something like
they
that.
called them what did they call them? Roaches.
Roaches,
I
yeah,
actually
something
didn't see
like
that
that.
one.
Yeah, this basically it talks about how like these people who go into the military, they're brainwashed to see the enemy as something that's less than them. So like they literally see them as like deformed people, or like, well, we gotta get rid of them because they're infectious or whatever. And it's they're literally regular people, or they're just poor, but they're looked at the way they see them through their vision.
So real.
Yeah, it's
dude,
so
it's
real.
crazy.
So real.
Black Mirror is such a good show.
It is.
I like the one where it's like the kid who was like a pedophile. The little
Oh
kid.
my God, that one.
What is it called? Shut Up and Dance, I think it's called.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
see
what
that
it's
one
called.
either.
Yeah.
Oh wow, they
You haven't
catch
seen that one?
people doing these bad things and
Yeah.
through the camera in their
On their
laptop
phone.
on
Yeah.
their phone. Yeah, and then so they get their number and they're texting them to do all these bad things, or else they're gonna put it out, blast it out to the whole public.
And the
Yeah.
family and everything, like, so like your family can see what you were looking at and have a video of you looking at it, and they're like, oh, I don't want to take it out, so they literally are texting this number and they have to do everything that number texts them to do, otherwise that will get out. But the way it
Yeah.
ends is crazy.
It is. You're like, what?
yeah
I love Black Mirror for that. Like they do some things that I'm like, you question it too. You're like, damn, is that wrong or would that be right? Like the memory one.
Yeah.
Like in a way, if you knew your moments were so good at the beginning and you know all this stuff ruined you, but you can erase it and it'd make it the same like how it used to be, like would you do it? Like I was like, I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know.
Check it out. Check
I
it
don't
out,
know.
Crykit. Look at that. Look at that. So they're gonna show you this video right now. That's the robot right there. Look, you
Wow.
see how real it is? Look at this, jumping on boxes. And
Dang.
yeah.
We're looking at Boston Dynamic
Oh,
videos.
is that a slow motion?
Yeah, they show you slow motion of you looking at that robot. I'm telling you, folks, we're like a couple years out, man. I'm telling you. Here's my theory. I think they're gonna mainstream these things where like they're gonna replace animals and stuff, and we're gonna I want that little dog that will go out and get my mail and go get me my groceries or whatever, like all this crazy stuff, and we're gonna have like 5 years of peace. Like we're gonna be great, living at the top of the food chain. These things are obeying us. And then one guy is gonna come in and ruin it for the rest of us.
Dang.
Always.
Yeah, I feel like that's the way. Like any apocalypse, or like anything ever happens, it's one guy, and he just puts a bad line of code in there, and it ruins it for everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that one with the bees.
Oh yeah.
Or the
the one on Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just programming. Well, what do you guys think about being watched all the time or documented? Like, all right, logging. There's some kind of database logging everything we've looked up, and
Yeah.
I mean,
how does that make you feel?
My whole thing, I hate it, but at the same time, I don't do anything bad, so I don't really, I don't mind.
But that's
I feel like they're gonna do it no matter what. As much as we hate it, as much as we put our little feet down.
yeah.
And I say little is because that's all we have is nothing against them.
Yeah.
Because the one thing us humans don't do is come together. And I just feel like there's so much we have to fix in ourselves before we can even hit anything at that power. Because whatever they're doing, they got control over us.
Who's they, bro?
I don't know.
Yeah, who are
Whatever
they?
the big ones are.
I feel like it's inevitable. Like us merging with technology, and you know,
Right.
you getting injected with nanobot technology where they can cure cancer and make you live forever or whatever, like all that stuff. People fear it because they're kind of like old school, where they're like, no, like even your phone being able to recognize your face on iPhone, like these governments now have a database of all these faces that can recognize you anywhere. Like it only takes somebody to change something about it to make it bad or whatever. But it's like, I feel like it's inevitable and it will happen. I mean, it's to better our species, and I feel our species should always be advancing.
Right.
And I don't know.
So how do you feel about it?
Yeah, how do you feel about it?
I'm not into it. I mean, I like technology. I don't want to be watched on everything I do, and like, yeah, I'm not doing anything wrong, but
Yeah.
I feel like me talking about, I don't agree with what Trump said, that's recorded, and then something happens where now I'm a terrorist. I'm considered a terrorist because I'm not
okay, I
I'm
see
not
what you're
going
saying.
along with the agenda.
Yeah.
So
I mean, technically, I heard if you put in bomb or hacking into Google, I think it's bomb, you instantly get put on this list, like no matter what.
Oh, we're screwed.
Yeah, I think we're all screwed.
Yeah.
yeah,
mean,
the
what
thing
if you're
about
looking
like,
up the-
that
what if
guy
you're
just
looking up-
photobombed me.
It
Like,
doesn't-
you know, like
It doesn't matter.
How to
It's-
photobomb somebody? Or like,
It's like
yeah,
this.
like
This is what the one thing I heard, and it's crazy. Like, what's that thing you spit into the thing and then get their DNA back?
23andMe.
Did you know, like, they can sell your info
Oh yeah.
to the
Easily.
insurance company?
Easily.
So meaning, if they find a genetic thing linking to cancer or anything, insurance might not be able to cover your cancer because they have the information and they have.
Damn,
and if you
that's
lied on
deep.
it, and if
That's
you lied
deep.
on it, because
Yeah.
if you lie on your thing, they can be like, no, you lied. You said you didn't have it.
Yeah.
We got these things back, this information back saying it's in your genetic line.
Yeah.
You lied to us. So that means we're not covering shit. It's deep, bro. But like that can be a conspiracy.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a conspiracy.
Yeah. Okay.
It,
But
it sounds like something that could happen.
We say
yeah.
this on this channel because people get offended, but
Yeah,
You
it's
don't
a touchy
know.
subject. It's
You
a
don't
touchy
know.
subject. You don't know.
you don't know.
There's a lot of things that I feel like are pretty good conspiracies out there. I mean, just look at the way like the government spies on people constantly. Like when who was it? The guy that revealed
Something Snow.
Yeah, I
Edward-
was gonna say Jon Snow.
What's his name? The Wikipedia
Yeah,
guy.
Edward-
WikiLeaks.
Edward
Snowden?
Snowden, yeah,
Something like that.
something like that. And he basically revealed that all Americans are like their phone calls are being monitored and everything is being stored and they're being listened to.
Oh, I thought you were talking
There's no
about
privacy.
Was it that? I thought it was also
Yeah, it was
the.
Snowden.
I thought it was the other guy too.
It was
The one who released all the military things.
the WikiLeaks.
I think it was somebody else, but he got he's I think he's in jail forever. But
Yeah.
I heard like they're watching, like he's in this room, and it's an open glass room, and they have security guards watching him 24/7.
Wow.
Yeah.
And literally every single day, like when he poops, pees, anything, they're watching him 24/7.
Well, have you guys ever heard? Have you seen the movie Sicario too?
No.
The new there's a new movie called Sicario. It's like a cartel movie, all that stuff. But there's this one scene where they were kind of like, it was the military, and it was really interesting to me, bro, because it's basically the government is trying to get rid of this Mexican cartel, but the government doesn't want to be seen doing all that stuff. So they hire these assassins and these people from other countries to take care of the problem with them. And then if it gets too crazy, they start completely detaching from them. But there was this one scene where they're like, okay, we're going to give you a budget of like $20 million, $30 million, or whatever for your whole team. And they have the technology basically where they can use satellites to triangulate people down below, so they can literally like, okay, tap into that cell phone, tap into that, zoom in, and you can see literally the entire thing, almost as if it was a TV show.
Dang. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those things that puts thoughts in the back of my head of going, is this happening? Is it really? Is this something that's is it just made to be like movie? Oh, it's just a movie, but it's really like the best way to hide is in plain sight, right?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Let's just show you exactly what we're doing, so that way you think it's science fiction. So when somebody shows you talking about it, oh, you got that from a movie. Get out of here! You're crazy,
And that's
Yeah,
the thing, they make you
trippy.
feel like you're crazy,
Oh, you're just watching too many movies, sonny boy.
Yeah, I try not to put things on my social media about that. I've gotten into trouble for it, I feel like, or people are
I
just
stay
so
quiet.
opinionated about it, and
Yeah.
then I don't know. It's touchy.
It's definitely touchy.
I
but
put up the shooting, that shooting over by Mandalay Bay. My friends had friends that were bartenders at that event. That when it happened, they all recorded everything on their phone. And they had to leave their phone behind, and they had to come get it. Then, like 2 days later or something like that, from the police, they deleted everyone's videos.
Yeah, there was one that made it out. I'm not gonna say anything about the Vegas shooting as far as like it being a conspiracy, but it just doesn't. There's a lot of things that just automatically don't make sense. Like, why isn't there a known cause of why it happened and all that stuff? Like, and I actually did see a video that was put out. I can't say it was edited or wasn't edited. I just saw a video. It was on YouTube. Somebody uploaded it. And it like there was shots from two different locations.
Right.
I'll say that much. And it sounded pretty real. And it came out literally the day that it was. I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of weird stuff that happened with that situation.
But isn't there always like a bigger picture for why they do that? You know what I mean? Like when 9/11 happened.
Oh yeah, like
martial, like they can put all that martial law in and all that, and like they want to do all that. So what was the bigger picture for this? Because usually there is. Did you guys hear anything?
I would assume gun control.
Oh.
I mean, literally ever since like, Sandy Hook and all these school shootings, the people are getting, and it might take 5 years, might take 10 years, but I feel like the ultimate goal is like to just get rid of people having guns, period. Because if nobody has them, then
how can they defend themselves?
But then it's also the thing, how can they defend themselves, right?
Right.
Or we go back to the situation of like, okay, well, let's say we ban guns completely. This is like completely off the morning dinner.
Yeah.
But it's just like, let's say we do get rid of guns completely. Well, guess what? Now only the criminals have them.
Right.
You know
now
what I mean? So
there's
what's the point in
the worst
installing that
black
line?
market? Right.
Exactly.
It's
So-
about, I think we should be able to have guns, but knowing how to use them, and
Yeah.
we don't need some crazy.
I'm all for like putting more laws where it makes it harder to get a gun.
The whole thing is though,
Right,
Background
right.
checks,
Yeah.
mental health checks, like all that stuff.
Right.
I'm all for it. But when you're gonna completely ban something, I mean, was it? It's a statistic that like when they banned guns in England, they banned guns, and the gun deaths went down
but
completely. the knife stabbings went 400% up. You know what I mean?
Wow,
Like,
yeah.
the people will always find ways.
will find a way, no matter what, and
So-
that's
and that's
any
not
which way.
That's not a
Right.
conspiracy. That's
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
conspiracy. That's a fact.
That
Yeah.
is a fact.
So just
Like that guy in China, like they killed like
what guy?
maybe this was like a few years ago, but there was like a big knife attack, and like 100 people
remember that.
died in China.
Oh.
Like fuck, I think it was China. I don't want to keep saying stuff, but look it up. It was like a huge knife attack and killed hella people with knives. Kill more people than this guy in the fucking building did.
Yeah.
That's fucking scary.
Yeah.
To me, that's like, if somebody loses it past the point of if it's government control or whatever, like
Yeah.
they're gonna do whatever they can to take out as many people. So
Well,
can't really
since
take anything away.
Since we're way off topic,
I know,
let me just
yeah.
ask this last question. And I just found out about this today. Did you hear about the little boy? I don't know where he's from, or I think he's like from the Clark County School District. I think that I read that in the article. But there's this little boy. He's like in elementary school or middle school or something. And it's for Halloween day or whatever. There was like a spirit week for Halloween or something at his school.
Yeah.
And he basically went dressed as Hitler.
Dang.
And it was like. It was because the haircut that he had and all that stuff, and it was just like all over the news. Like, this is outrageous. People are losing their minds about it. How do you guys feel about that?
I don't know, cause that's a hard one.
Yeah, but it's also meant to be a costume. You know what I mean? But then you do get to that double-edged sort of like, okay, well, that's actually a real thing, not a fiction thing. You know what I mean? Like, where you dress up as a ghost, you're like, okay, it's a fiction thing, or you dress up. But when you dress up as somebody who actually was responsible for the murder of millions.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, and the thing is, there's still people alive who will see that, and they don't. It's not funny to them.
No.
Like they have family who suffered because of that.
Right.
So.
I wouldn't do that. If my kid wanted to go out dressed as Hitler, I would not allow that.
It's one of those things you just joke about with your friends. You don't actually do it.
How old was the kid?
He's like 10, 12 years old. Like, he's a young kid, a little kid. Yeah.
Well, could I be truthful? Like, I remember when I was a little kid, I didn't know that sign was bad, and I drew it once in art class because I just thought and this is so fucked, dude. I legit just. I remember I was like
swastika?
in history class. Yeah, I didn't really put 2 to 2 together.
Yeah.
Like, but I drew it and I liked it. I was like, oh, that sign's cool. It looks cool. I was thinking of it as a symbol.
Yeah.
Like, like tribal.
Yeah,
Like,
or kind of like that S that everybody drew in middle school.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear about that? The little S.
Yeah.
That's the Stussy S.
That's a Stussy S.
Yeah, I found that out and it tripped me out.
The S that everybody was drawing. Really,
Yeah.
bro, that was like 5th grade when I was
Stussy's
drawing.
been around for
really?
a minute, bro. He's been
I think since the 80s,
Sean
right?
Stussy's like a
Then he's a genius
because
everybody was doing
amazing.
that, but nobody knew where it came from.
But over saying everything, like my intentions on this kid might be different because he did the whole costume.
Yeah.
But my intentions were 0 negative, and many people want to say like, nah, Chuck, you're a Nazi or whatever. Like, I literally didn't even think of that. I was just like, I like the symbol.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like the pentagram. Like, I used to draw that
You're
shit.
like, it's
not
so
knowing that shit.
symmetrical.
Like, I'm so fucking because I guess I was stupid too. Like, I just didn't get shit, and I didn't put 2 together. I'm like,
I mean, but that's a whole nother level too of it being just dark
ignorant.
humor. No, dark humor. Like, you know what I mean? Like the kid dressing up like that.
If the kid was like
dark humor
and doing it, like then it's like, you little piece of shit.
Like, it's funny. It's funny because it happens in real life and we think it's outrageous, but then we see it on South Park and we laugh. Like, you know what I mean? Because of the setting,
the cartoon. Too.
You know what I mean?
The cartoon.
Yeah, and then like the school board. I don't know if the school board did something, but I think.
So what do you feel about it?
I don't know, man.
No.
It's tricky because I get it being a joke, but we also live in a time
where everything's sensitive.
When everybody is like very defensive and sensitive, and you need to take that into account. I mean, if you're gonna live with people, you kind of have to feel what they think and know what's socially acceptable.
Right.
You know, I mean, you're not gonna go wear blackface to a party, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
it's a joke, but it's also like, why would you? You know what I mean?
Yeah. That costume ain't
tricky.
even tight. Like, that shit ugly. Hitler was fucking ugly as fuck. Like, he's goofy fucking looking.
Dude, Genghis Khan. Remember we were talking about Genghis Khan?
Mm-mm.
Have you ever heard of Genghis Khan?
Yeah.
Murdered so many people that it literally affected the carbon footprint on this earth. Like, literally.
Oh.
Yeah. So many people got. I don't know how many, but I would say millions of his own people too. You know.
So crazy. There's so many trippy things. Sorry we got a little dark on this side.
I know,
It always
we
happens.
did.
This is a good podcast.
I thought we were
though.
gonna get perverted. And we got dark.
I guess it's just the whole thing is being open-minded, not letting shit affect you as much as you, because like the mind is a fucking very powerful thing,
Yeah.
and you can change your emotions instantly. As
Yeah.
much as like there's depression and all that shit, and I do believe in it, yeah, but your mind is fucking crazy. Like, I don't know. I just live day by day, like, getting more excited. Maybe because I watch too many animes and shit, but like this new anime I watched, like, it literally, like, I don't know. It mimicked exactly what I thought what happens when you die. And it's stupid shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like but it literally fucking, whoever wrote it, like I want to find the writer and shit.
That's how I felt about Coco.
Like, I was like, Coco?
Remember Coco?
Oh,
yeah.
The Disney movie?
that shit's kind of tight.
It's
Like, I
tight.
wouldn't be mad if like that was it. Like,
Yeah.
that'd be tight. Like, I'm with that.
Yeah,
Like,
you got to look at these things, these dark things, and look at them in a positive light.
yeah.
There you
For
go.
sure.
Too much
Yeah.
negative in this fucking
Yeah.
world. We
There
need more
is.
positive. Because negative will shine through anything
And you
instantly.
Want to know what's positive? DJ Crykit.
Woo! Yay!
Thank you so much, Crykit.
We actually do have some questions though from people who
Oh, okay.
sent them in.
How have we been going, by the way?
I want to say in 2 hours.
2 hours. We'll finish this up with these questions.
Yeah, we'll finish
Okay.
up with these questions. A few of them. At Fly Girl Raquel wants to know, how do you describe your style and what's your favorite house track to dance to?
Oh, she would ask that. So actually, Raquel is the one. I went with Raquel and my sister to Utah for just a day to see this Chromeo show for the
Oh,
show.
nice.
Right? Yeah. Shout out, because she's B-girl. We knew each other through the breaking scene. Yeah, she's PR. So wait, what was the what?
How do you
What's
describe
happening?
your style?
I love you, Raquel.
How do you describe your style and what's your favorite house track to dance to?
My style and within what? Anything?
I would imagine if you're talking about music.
Music.
No, I would say fashion style. How would you describe your fashion
I think
style?
funky and eclectic. I think me all together is just eclectic, whether it's my
Flamboyant.
music or what I'm wearing. Yeah, flamboyant. I
a bad
call
word?
it
Sorry.
conversational pieces.
Ah.
Something that's going to strike a conversation, whatever it is, because it's that
that's for
loud
sure.
or it's the
Unique.
unique, yes.
Okay. And what's your favorite house track to dance to?
The fire
Probably
burns.
like, you know what? I love Around the World. That's one of my favorites,
Oh,
like
yeah.
classic Daft Punk.
Daft Punk.
That punk?
Yeah.
Around the world.
That video was so fun. Like that
Yeah.
just was
Yeah.
that whole album and that song was a pinnacle time for me. So
At 24K Spirit wants to know
nice.
what's next for DJ Crykit.
What is next?
That's a loaded question.
That is, I like I said earlier, I want to go on tour. I want to tour. I want to get more into the festival and concert circuit where people are going specifically for the music. And yeah, that's what I want to go to. And for clothing, I want someone to run my shop. So stuff is selling. And I want to take the party, Playhouse, to New York,
Worldwide.
LA. I want to take it worldwide. Definitely want to go to
Yes.
Japan. That's for sure. In the UK.
I feel like those are soon. Those will
Yeah,
happen.
I almost had, so I had to cancel because I didn't have enough money. But shout out to DJ Zimmy. That's a good friend of mine, mentor. He tours with DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Ooh.
Damn.
Yeah,
We all know him.
we all know him.
Yep.
And yeah, so he invited me. They're on a tour right now all over the place. And he's like, hey, if you want, you can meet us in Tokyo. You know, like you can hang with anything we do. Like we go out to dinner. Jeff's so cool. Like you can have dinner with us and then you'll be backstage at the concert and the show. And like,
That's tight.
you know, wouldn't that have been so
Yeah.
epic? I just don't, the timing is not right, but anywho, that's just what I'm putting out there. I want to,
You put it down to the world and it will happen.
yes.
The law of attraction.
Fruition.
There you go. At Blonde and Restless wants to know, what's some artists who inspire you other than Pharrell?
Oh, nice. These are cute. These are Rosemary's friends, by the way. I met them through Rosemary. Hi, Rosemary.
Shout out Rosemary.
Shout out Rosemary.
Thank you, Rosemary.
She had
Thank
2
you,
episodes.
Rosemary. Yay. She's the best.
Her and her crystals.
Her and her crystals. Yay. Love it. Healing. We need it. I love Daft Punk. I love Disclosure. I love, I don't know. There's so many. James Brown for sure. Like I'll listen to James Brown all day, every day.
Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Zapp and Roger. Yeah.
Oh, Zapp and Roger. That's OG.
That's like, I love.
I grew up on Zapp and Roger, yeah.
I love, that's like when I'm, you know, that kind of sound, just keyboards and synths and the talk box. And,
Oh, yeah, talk box.
Like, ugh.
Yeah.
It just feels good. Like I want to drive to that music.
Yeah.
I just want to do everything to that music.
We have another one.
Oh yeah, just real quick.
Yeah.
Keem's a beast at the talk box.
I heard that on a previous
he's so
episode. I
annoying.
really
Thank
gotta
you.
hear you.
He's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah, I put it all the way. I don't have it up right now, but I can send you a video.
Yeah.
Little
Send me a
video
video.
Yeah, he's
Send me
dope.
I want to
little
get back on it.
shantin'.
I want to get back on it, but I want to start recording, but I just don't like. I don't have the time to make my own music. So if anybody's out there who wants to feature,
Funky music.
yeah, if something I can hop on, I'll be gladly to lend my skills. Yeah.
Diamond Ortiz
Yeah, I was
type
just
ordeal.
gonna. You gotta. Have you heard of Diamond Ortiz?
No.
That's the homie. He lives in LA. He's from the Bay. You could check out his Instagram. He posts up videos all the time of him with the talk box and on his keyboards, and then he plays the bass too. And he'll kind of do like a video that has him doing all the
Oh, nice.
all the different things.
He's dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's dope. Super.
There's a community of talk boxers out there.
There is,
I noticed.
yeah.
It wasn't there when I was coming up, like back in 2008, 2009. But like I recently met, because I know this guy MC Magic, and he does a lot of talk box music. Like that's a lot. He actually got his keyboard from Zapp and Roger. Like one of the brothers gave it to him after Roger passed away.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
But I got to do photography and video for him when I met him back in 2010. And just recently, we both beginning of this year, we traveled to Nashville to film a video, and I got to meet the guy who did the intro for Bruno Mars's 24 Karat.
Oh, that's
Is
awesome.
that talk box?
Yeah.
Mr. Talkbox. Shout out Mr. Talkbox.
Shout out Mr.
Coolest dude,
Talkbox.
man. Coolest dude.
And
Just
shout out
really,
to MC Magic.
shout out to MC Magic. Yeah, we'll try to get him on here too.
Yeah.
At Young Pretty Homie wants to know if you have any tips for thrifting and being able to tell what era something is from and its significance.
Ooh, I love that.
That's a really good question.
My tips are that you don't just look in, like, let's say I'm a small, don't just look in the smalls, look in all the sections because people put stuff in random places. Sometimes I find really cool, like a dress, for example, and like the size 12 thing that's like a 4 or what have you. You know, you just don't know where you're going to find something. So look in every section. If you're in a hurry, I do different kinds of thrifting, like, all right, this time I've got an hour. I like to spend at least an hour at a Savers, but sometimes I like just have 20 minutes. So I set a timer and I look for, I just kind of like power strut it through all the aisles, but I just like my hand, I allow my hand to go along the clothing, and it's really funny, but it's like you can feel something.
You want to feel the material?
I want to
that's
feel the
crazy.
material, and I can just see like a print or a pattern or like whatever I'm trying to like really look for.
Yeah.
It just comes
It's like
out
some
at
Super
me.
Saiyan shit. Like,
Yeah, shh, yeah.
found it.
Found it.
Right.
Know the days that the sales are, and go early.
There you go.
So Mondays, Savers does 50% off everything in the store. I go early and I just kind of do a circuit. And
Is
hit
there a
them all
day
up.
like they refill everything up? at a
Every
certain
day, all
time?
day.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. And then I always look for quality, like, or I'm not going to buy something that has holes all over it or yellow stained armpits, or for women, sometimes women don't wear underwear and there's like a snail trail in the crotch of the pants. Like, yeah.
Art.
I learned that from working at Buffalo Exchange. Actually, like you had to, that was part of the protocol when you're looking at a pair of pants to buy. You have to open it and look
Smell
inside.
it.
One lady, it was so embarrassing because she just like, it was like, ugh, it was like cream cheese spread in there. It was so bad. It was so much, and it was so chunky, and she was
Crykit.
just like a mean person.
You can't ruin cream cheese for me.
Oh no,
Please don't
sorry.
ruin
Yeah, we actually like cream cheese.
Or you do buy them, and then you find that weirdo online. You sell them to him for 5 times the price.
She was freaking out, like, why are you not buying it? Why are you not buying it? And I didn't want to point it out. And then eventually she didn't stop. She was ruthless. So I had to point it out, like,
Yeah.
this is why.
I think you
what
dropped your
about-
cream cheese.
What
dropped her
about
green cheese.
What about apps like you mentioned Depop?
Yeah, Depop.
What about Mercari?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about that.
You never heard of Mercari?
No.
I gotta put you on.
Okay, put me
It's
on.
a new app, just came out, and it's like killing it right now.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I think when you first sign up,
Is it
they
a
give you
reselling app or what is
yeah. So it's basically like eBay, but you don't meet up personally. You ship.
it? Okay.
Yeah, so it's all over the place.
Yay. I'd be into that.
It's crazy because I was driving on the freeway and I saw a big old billboard that just said download Mercari, like that's it, or something like that.
Okay.
And I downloaded it, and then I hear everybody on social media talking about it. I was like, oh, this is this new thing. Cool.
Ah.
Oh,
I
that's
haven't
when the
looked-
billboard
Cool. I'm gonna
works.
check it
Yeah.
out. Yeah, it looks like it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah, just make sure there's no holes or stains or things
Cream
that I'm
cheese.
like cream cheese.
God, that's so gross.
Yeah. What else was that? What was the
Gross.
question?
Also,
I don't-
what would
when it's from.
Yeah.
The tags. The tags tell it all.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Like I always look for things. Nothing's made in the USA anymore unless it's like something from a specific designer or like American Apparel or something like that. But everything's made overseas. So if it says made in the USA, it's probably from the 80s or 90s or anything. Like some stuff was still made in the USA in the 90s, but predominantly like 80s and
Oh, wow.
older was
Never knew
made in.
that.
A lot was made in the USA. Like it was big.
Okay.
And then, yeah, you can tell like the brands change their tags throughout the different years. And that's also how you could tell, when it's from. But mostly like if it's made in the USA, that's probably vintage.
Okay. And to end it off, I actually had one last question. Being a part of so many industries, how do you keep up to date on the newest trends and styles, or do you not focus on what's new?
I don't focus on what's new.
Bam, you see why I added that in there? Bam.
I like that. Thank you. Yeah, because I don't want to be comparing. I tend to be, I've always been the person that likes something, and then when I see everybody else has it, then I don't like it anymore. I'm
Yeah.
like, ugh. So I don't like to really look, but at the same time, it matters. It matters with music for me, especially. And I'm part of 3 different MP3 pool sites. So I'm subscribed to Direct Music Service and DJ City and Beat Junkies and Private Stock Radio. That's when I find all the music that's, you can hear a sound changing and then all of a sudden everyone's making a remix of that or tracks everyone's songs sound like that. You know that through the site. So, but as far as clothing, yeah, it's funny because I find a lot of stuff at Savers or thrifting that then I go to somewhere like I'll pop in over at Urban Outfitters once in a while because I feel like they are the ones that get the teens or people into like, oh, what's the look right now? And I find I have a lot of that stuff already through thrifting. So
But original.
Yeah, original. Or they also have like that's called Urban Outfitters renewal, and they have somebody that they have a team that goes out and buys vintage stuff, and they'll like take a floral Hawaiian shirt and just crop it for the girls, and then that's the style, so everything's cropped. But yeah, then they price it at like $50.
God damn it, Urban
Damn.
Outfitters.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Well, I think it's funny. Like I get haggled for prices all the time at the market, and it's like, man, like what is that, man? Like I don't know. I don't come up to you and be like, let me haggle down the price of something, and like
How much
I
you
don't
charge
know.
for photo shoots? It's 150. I got 65. How many photos it come with for 150? 10. Can I get 6 for $75?
Yeah,
You seen that movie? What's it called, bro? The one with the intro.
Oh my God, I just forgot.
It's I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Oh yeah.
It's from the 80s.
Oh no.
It was one of the you know the Wayne brothers, the older brother.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. He's the one of the Wayne brothers though. But there was a scene where Chris Rock was like he was at a fast food joint. He goes, "How much for a stack of ribs?" And the guy goes, "That'll be
$1.
Yeah,
Or
it was
something.
one. He's like $1. He's like, "Oh, okay. So that's about 25 cents a rib." Yeah. He goes, "All right, I'll take one." He's like, "One order of ribs." Like, no. One rib.
Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious.
And then
Yeah.
he goes like, how much for a soda? He's like, $1. He goes, "Oh, come on, man, help a brother out." And then he goes, pour it in my cup for a dime. pour it in my hands for a dime. So yeah, it's a culture.
Another thing is just, I don't know, really quick, like a pet peeve. And just so everybody knows, like, don't talk to me while I'm DJing. Like, come on, that's not the place for, like, you have no idea how many people just want to, like, hang out and tell me these stories and then want to, like, no, I don't know what I'm playing. I freestyle, and I just, like, there's a lot of things that go into that, right?
Yeah.
And now everything's mixed so much faster, and, like, people's attention span's short. So, like, I'm working here, okay? Like, people love to just chat and, like, have this conversation and then be watching what, like, and then want to tell me what to play. Like, oh, yeah, you should play this. You should play that.
God.
Like,
But it's not other.
outta here.
But it's not other DJs that
but
do
some
that to
other
you,
DJs
right?
do that. I'm like,
Oh,
clearly
really?
you're not a DJ. Like, do you, like,
Yeah.
what? How are you doing this right
Yeah.
now? But yeah, just don't talk to me. And I don't mind like, oh yeah, give a little quick hello, but
Yeah.
I'm working, so
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, that's why.
You guys heard it here first. Don't bug her, man.
Don't bother
chill.
me. I'm working.
Chill.
Don't bug any DJ. Just out there. Just saying it out
Yeah,
there.
like-
Unless you have $1,000 and you trying to request a song, throw that 1,000 down, and I'm pretty sure they'll play your song.
Yeah, then I'll play it.
only.
But people want to give you nothing or $1, and it's like, I like requests if I'm at like things like, oh, if you're at a wedding party or like
You're for hire.
different.
for
yeah.
hire or something like that. But
Yeah.
like, don't come at me when I'm playing at Playhouse for sure. Like, no requests. And I say it nicely, but people just get so butthurt. But what is that?
Yeah.
They
No,
need-
I don't come to your job and tell you what to do and how to do it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like.
Boom.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's
That's all. That was it. That was it right there.
There you go. Thank you so
Let
much
me
for
do-
being on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
thank
you,
you guys
Crykit.
so much for having
We
me.
really
This was
appreciate it.
fun.
We wanted to have you on. We're like, this
For
is
so
somebody.
long.
And we learned so much. I mean, we had some ups and downs, man. We talked about conspiracies, your past, your present, your future, where you're going.
Yeah.
It's a good story.
It was a good
Yeah,
story.
it was great.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like this was cozy. I feel like I'm in your home.
There you go.
Wait,
You are in my home.
Oh yeah, you are.
In
now.
our home.
we are in your home.
We're actually gonna go ahead and put all your information in the description down below for iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and all that stuff. But do you want to tell people where they can find you?
Yeah,
Online?
you can find me mainly my Instagram. I'm not really on Facebook. I mean, I have a Facebook, but I don't use it. So if you're trying to check out what I'm doing, at DJ Crykit, DJCRYKIT, or at Crykit's Playhouse. And yeah.
Cool.
That's where I'm at. I just want
Yay.
to shout out real quick. It's Playhouse Party 2-year anniversary, November 8th. So that's just a few weeks away. I'm really excited. So come through.
I'll be there.
It'll be free. I got Falcons as a special guest DJ. He's a dope
Ooh.
producer. A really dope DJ. I've heard him play a bunch
Falcons
of sets,
is
and
a
he's
beast.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love him. So I'm
What is
excited.
it? Wait, are they? Is he part of athletics?
Yeah.
Fuck them. They're fucking dope.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
I just
yeah,
had to
he'll
say
be
that.
out here. So
Oh, yeah.
come
There you
through.
go. November 8th. Save
November
the date.
8th. Save the date. Put it in your calendar. The big heart. Come give me a hug.
There you go.
Commonwealth. Crykit's
Commonwealth.
Playhouse.
I
Las
may look like
Vegas.
I'm losing my mind, but I'm really excited that you're there. Okay. No, I'm like running around like, woo. Ah.
Yeah,
right.
I think this is officially our longest podcast
Yeah.
episode.
Cool.
We did it.
Let's
High
do it.
five.
Whoa, it's 12:16,
All right.
you guys.
12:16.
Wait. So does that mean I have to end it?
Huh?
Are we ending the live stream now?
I don't think we ever did live
No,
stream.
were
though.
we? I thought we couldn't get it going.
Well, it was going on and off.
All
Oh,
right.
but it was going. All right.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys on the next morning dinner.
Every time I come in the kitchen, you in the kitchen. In the goddamn refrigerator.
I sure am hungry.